in the box. And Deron Bland just broke the record. I don't need to say anything, but how about the Cowboys? How about the Cowboys?
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Today is our Monday. But it's Tuesday.
How about that?
Doesn't that feel good, kind of? Well, I don't know if it does for you. You got back like last night.
I did.
But I keep thinking it's Monday, and then I realize it's Tuesday.
That's big for you.
And I guess it is good for the whole week if you didn't have to drive to New York on Thursday.
But it's your Thursday today.
Yeah, today is my Thursday. And I'll be driving on your Thursday. But it'll feel like your Wednesday. Anyway.
Do you guys talk at all in the car?
No.
Me and my daughter?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, sure. What were we talking about last night? We did the Andy's Chan's thing.
Nice.
Does she wear headphones in the car, too?
That's kind of why I was asking.
She does if my wife is in the front seat. If she's in the back, she'll have big giant headphones on.
Yeah. Possibly with nothing playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then we'll want to talk to her, and she'll be like, what? It's fine. There's nothing on.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it. Anyway, I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jay Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
And this is The Dumb Zone. We are a radio program now doing a podcast. And today we are broadcasting live to tape from inside our downtown Dallas studios. And we are fresh off a Cowboy training camp visit. I feel like it's a success because we're back.
Yeah, I mean,
we're alive.
Matt did not kill you guys, so...
No, Matt's great.
I think he's penciled in for next year.
He's definitely penciled in for tomorrow. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's not negotiate contracts in the media.
Right.
Parcells?
We'll see. We got some other prospects coming in.
That's right.
Matt's asking for a lot of money.
Might get that
it's a
PJ.
small piece of the pie.
I don't even want the PJ.
Oh, okay.
I like the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, half of the grind.
Half of the grind. You don't even know about the grind. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. I don't want to. We could do more of a big recap with Matt because we got a lot of stuff to get to today.
Did you guys break down?
No, but again, I want to do most of it tomorrow, but I'll quickly just tell you that so we did the trip back in 2 days. On the trip there, we took 3 days. Trip back 2 days. And these guys did, as you know, hit me with the, we're going to leave really early on
Thursday.
What day did we leave? Thursday.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday. Thursday morning.
Yeah, 4 a.m.
Right, but I talked in my head, okay, that's 6 a.m. Dallas. I've been on Dallas time. I can usually get up, get out right away. Okay. I accepted that 6 a.m. Dallas time would work with my body and the clock and all that kind of stuff. My biological clock would wake up. So then we get to Albuquerque, and we're checking in. The great David, the general manager at the Albuquerque Marriott.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
And we're checking in, and I really love that. Remember the breakfast we had there?
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Great little breakfast room. It was like I was visiting France and Belgium. Anyway, it was continental breakfast.
Yep.
And so I was really looking forward to that for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just had some Taco Bell on the way. Like, I knew we're getting in too late, which is like 7 or 8 for me. But I can't eat dinner then. So I had Taco Bell on the way.
He seriously had Taco Bell.
What?
I was proud of him.
What's wrong with that? You ordered Taco Bell and didn't eat it.
I thought Matt said no fast food.
Dan was the only one that got Taco Bell.
Yeah, he didn't eat it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just said, hey.
Which I respected even more.
Let's go to this Taco Bell.
Okay.
Anyway.
You're a fan of their bean burrito.
No?
You.
Oh, yeah. So now we're checking in, and I said, okay, whatever. I was kind of beat, and I said, I'm going to go to my room. I'm leaving twice. Because remember, the casino, I was only leaving my room once because I didn't want to walk all the way down.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to leave my room twice. Once for that delicious breakfast, and I'll go back, get my stuff, and then I'll leave again, and we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to indicate, look, I'm not coming down tonight because Rob is the kind of guy who will travel like 28 hours in a row and then be like, let's go out and get a beer. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, Video Man is a nightcap guy.
Yeah,
he is
big time.
absolutely a guy to – he's just always doing something. Like,
Yeah.
Can you ever just do nothing? Just sit. And so then Matt said to me, well, I don't know if we'll be here for breakfast.
Oh, no.
I said, what do you mean?
Oh, no.
When does it start? And he goes, I think it starts at 6 a.m.
Oh, no.
And, by this time, Matt, our driver, had run his idea by me, by Video Man. And, of course, Dan is the final. He's the boss. He's the boss at the end of the game.
It doesn't even.
I'm not the boss because I didn't
No.
make the
I mean,
decision.
in like a video game, like you're the final boss. Like, in order to beat the game, there's this really tough obstacle at the very end,
Yeah,
which was you.
You're Shredder.
I'm easy. He's easy. You're the last guy.
Yeah, Blake is definitely easy. Blake will just side with whoever he sees as the majority developing.
I mean, the reality is, like, there's no point really
Blake
in
has no
Matt
real
running
thought
it
of it.
by Rob or Blake.
Yeah,
He knows they're going to say yes.
Yes.
They're going to say yes to whatever he says. So I said, and I thought about it, and I thought, okay, well, 6 here in Albuquerque is 7 there.
Yeah.
So I can see his point on not wanting to. He wants to leave a little earlier. And yesterday, we did negotiate down to 4 a.m. with 6 a.m. So, okay, I'm thinking we're going to go 6 a.m., which means 5 a.m., which I will dutifully nod, take my loss, and realize that I'm not going to get this great breakfast. So I said, all right, well, when do you want to leave? Because he's talking in Albuquerque time now.
Like a normal person.
And then
Yes.
Matt looks at me and Video Man like, you're gonna help me here, right?
I am so glad I got to miss this.
He goes, I want to leave at 2. I go, 2? It's like 8 o'clock now. Like 2?
So Dan had started at
AM?
7, and Matt asked for 2.
Yeah. And so now I'm swirling in my head. This guy has done so much for us. He provided the RV.
Chicken thighs, salmon.
He bought the
Yeah.
gas.
Yep.
He did every second of driving. He did the cooking. He's awesome. How can I say no to him? Well, I found a way. So I did negotiate him down to 3.
What's the I mean, is that
knowing that I could talk myself into that's 4 Dallas time.
Jeez.
I wanted to negotiate him back because I did say to him, "Oh man, I thought you were going to say 6," and I thought he'd go, "Okay, how about 4?" No, he just stood steady.
Yeah.
And then riding up the elevator, I'm like, I just don't know if I can do it, dude. I don't know if I can do it. And
You're glad you missed this? I loved watching this play out.
all right.
No, the reason I'm glad I missed it is just because, like, thinking about my role in the interaction, because I want to keep the big man happy over
I know, but it was funny to watch.
But I
him just
also
deflate.
get very annoyed by we all have to be on one person's schedule thing. And I don't know. Sometimes that's tough to navigate.
Well, it helped for California. It helped me at least. I don't know if it helped you, but just knowing that we're doing a show in the same time and the people get it at the same time, and
Yeah, but the thing is, we had to develop the slash method.
we eat dinner at 4 p.m.
That took some getting used to.
Okay, so we're gonna leave at 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to work that in every day.
Well, in the same day, we had the same conversation. Okay, when are players available? 1:30. Okay, 3:30. So we start.
I'm a Texan.
We start the show at noon. 10. So
You
we
got
need to
here as
leave
fast
at
as you
9.
could.
That's right. I brought some Texas dirt to sprinkle under my crib when I laid there, and
Your own crib.
yeah. Anyway, we're back. I'm back for a couple days,
And
and then
Dan,
we'll drive to New York.
he got on the RV at 3.
Respect.
Yeah, I was there, man.
Yeah.
I was there. I'm the greatest.
Wasn't it so nice? Just having all the extra space without me on there, like, I really did you guys a favor, right?
So we have a
No.
sit-in today, and the sit-in is in our downtown Dallas studio, Justin Mooring. Justin. Let's turn on those mics. Go ahead, try it again, Justin.
What's up, fellas?
Oh, hey, how you doing? I don't know if you have to lean forward every time. Just kind of pull the mic to you.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. You know how to pull a phallic thing to your face, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
One or
it.
two times.
Like sucking a dick.
Whoa! And then he has friends, Will and Weber. Correct?
Weber right here. Yes.
And
How we
and
doing,
it
guys?
seems I was eavesdropping a little bit on your conversation before the show as I was pounding my salmon, which is not a euphemism.
I was gonna say.
I was actually eating a piece of salmon. But it feels like you guys are good friends, but then you're like, oh, yeah, I have a kid. Like you're good friends that haven't seen each other in a long time.
Yeah. So we used to live all down here, around like in the Uptown area, maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. And we hung out all the time, but life
Then
gets
you
in the
get
way.
married.
Yeah, we get married. Life gets in the way. That sort of thing.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys are. Well, I guess I'm glad you guys are here. Are
Will
you guys
looks like
glad that-
You
Michael
guys,
Phelps.
you're bringing friendships back together. How
That's
about
right.
You've heard that before, right?
We unite.
I get more of the, and I'm not happy about this. The guy from The Big Bang Theory, the main character.
Jim Parsons?
Yeah, which is not.
That's not as good as
What
Michael
did you
Phelps.
say?
like-
Michael Phelps.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Very fit.
He's a great looking dude.
He is.
Looks like he's ready to hit the links, perhaps after the
I
show.
want to put this shirt on today.
What's that?
So I knew that was coming when I put this shirt on today.
Okay.
They're gonna call me out about it.
It's funny. I actually thought about wearing a golf shirt, and I thought, you know what? Maybe not. I don't want to get picked on.
Picked. I was just making a comment. Anyway, thanks for being here. Prepare your closing remarks. Do we want to do just a quick weekend check on what you did, Jake, on your way back? Because we do have lots of Cowboys stuff, and I have
Yeah.
some Maverick stuff for you.
It was, do you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not really.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which I had never heard of prior to about 2 years ago.
So you had a guy's weekend
I did.
pre-planned before we had planned to go to training camp.
Yeah, it was maybe February or March. I had the likes of the Mike Soroy,
Boy, you really look ahead.
the Mike Marshall, the KJ,
Okay.
the TC, the Blind Josh. It's magical, dude.
You really look ahead, except you look smack at Cowboy training camp, and you're like, yeah, I'll just do it there and then.
Okay. Again,
I'm just saying, if we are planning a show,
far, far before we knew that we were going.
So why is it magical?
It's just like the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life.
Was it like a lake?
Yeah, it's a lake,
Okay.
and it's in the mountains,
Uh-huh.
and it's just beautiful. It's perfect. The water is crystal clear. The weather's perfect. Dude, I walked out of my house this morning. I mean, I'm sure you had this experience too, even though you had to take the RV back. Like when you walk outside in the morning and it's 93.
It's the thick air and the...
It's 6:30.
Because I had gotten into a nice routine in California of going for putting on the sweatshirt and taking a little morning walk.
Yeah. And then, I was able to extend that by a couple days. And then just getting off the plane last night and walking out of the house to take the kid this morning, I'm like, this is why?
Why do we live here?
Why
I said
are
that
we
to somebody
doing
yesterday.
this? It doesn't make any sense.
Why do we live here?
And then this morning was my first day of drop off at the school, the new elementary school.
Yeah.
That's a wild ride, dude.
Why?
It's hectic. There was they warned me about this, but I actually didn't think that they would bring it up. But I was on the phone in the car line, and the cop was like, "Hey, whoa,
It's illegal.
no cell phones."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Really, dude? Like, is this?"
It's illegal.
I know it's illegal, but there's a lot of things that are illegal that I don't think they enforce.
Yeah. No,
They're
they do.
petty, and
When they go through school zones, man, you can't have your phone up.
I did, and the guy was just like, "Hey, yo, Gotta cut that off.
So what you do is you put it on speaker and hold it down in your lap.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll do in the future.
Yeah.
Real cop or just
No, real cop.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because it's early.
It's because there are
the
kids
year.
walking around in the streets. No,
Which
it's
makes
not that
sense.
it's early.
It'll be
They're
there all
going to-
year?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole thing is just there's people honking at each other.
what?
Oh yeah, dude.
Like
Yeah.
honking hello, or they're
No.
upset that you're.
No,
All right.
not hello. Not hello at all. I was like 40 cars back. Like I thought I left on, a proper amount of time. And I was in line for 20 to 25 minutes.
Do you see anybody try to cut in line?
Yes. A couple people, hence the honking.
See, there's no escaping the length that you're going to be there. Because I remember I used to occasionally get to pick up my kid if we had a day off or something. And I was excited to do so. And then the first day, I'm like 50th in line, and it took forever. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn. So then you have to like get there an hour early to be front in line. So then I'd get there an hour early and sit in the front of the line, but I'm still there. There an hour either way.
Exactly. I believe I was told that people start lining up at 1:15 for a 3:30 release.
Whoa.
So I will not be doing that
Yeah.
part of it.
And are you going to be the chief dropper offer?
Yeah, that's typically been my role.
Okay.
I like that part of the day. My daughter's extremely obsessed with Frank Sinatra,
Interesting.
so we listen to Frank Sinatra on the way to school.
The
cool.
High Hopes was a big song for my
High
kids.
Hopes, My Way,
Everyone knows that.
Come Fly With Me.
Ant Can't.
Yep. No, but it's you've talked about this before, but man, I swear to God, my son gained like 40 pounds while I was gone.
He's noticeably different.
Noticeably different. Like he talks different. His hair looks different. It was just
Like Saw.
yeah.
Saw,
Yeah.
dude.
And he gave me the finger. You bring any weed back? But no, it's crazy. It's just wild. Like just seeing him this morning, I'm like, dude, you're like a different person now. After 2 weeks.
So now you're back. There's no more Pornhub for you.
Oh, I know, man. We were talking about that off the air. It's very tough. I mean, you guys know that I was at that house for like 5 hours after you left on Thursday.
Yeah. They sent me a note about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pay extra for the cleanup.
Yep.
It was also 4 a.m.
Yeah, but you guys were gone.
Yeah.
And I was already up. So it's
Yeah,
kinda
he
like,
doesn't go back to sleep.
Yeah. It's kind of like, all right, well, I'm not leaving.
Did you leave a microphone there? You never answered my
I
text.
did. I did.
How about answering a text? How about being polite? I'm just trying to do a Soroy here.
Yeah. I
don't
was
care.
I was
I told her to mail it to us.
the last 4 days, I can't really tell you where one day ended and the other one began. You know, when you're out like on a dude's trip like that, it's just like there's no time,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
It's just all experimenting.
Yeah.
It's not gay if we're on a dude strip.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, one guy's blind. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, "Whoa."
Very helpful.
No, it's your wife.
Very
Got
helpful.
a strap on. It's all good. Was Blind Josh there?
He
Is that
was.
a dumb question.
Well, it was a dumb question because I already said it, but
Oh,
he was definitely there.
well, I wasn't listening to anything.
They
I
went
was
to,
driving
like,
home.
I skipped out on this, but they went to the Northern Idaho County Fair,
Okay.
and I was just
Like a
dude,
freak show?
100% freak show.
Was there?
Very much like a like Juggalo type vibe.
Why were you out?
I was just like, dude, it was a drive, and I'm like, dude, why would I want to go to this?
I'm
And then
here at this beautiful lake.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
why don't we just sit here and enjoy this? But then I started seeing some of the photos, and I'm like, man, I kind of wish I would have gone on this. There was a white guy, probably 400 pounds in an Ichiro jersey, which is like the funniest thing I've ever seen
That's great.
from a athletic gear standpoint.
Did you guys, when you left, did you have a lot of beers and stuff left over? Because I was wondering this on the RV trip. Do guys always overestimate how much they're going to drink? Because Rob ended up like filling a cooler with like 30 beers that we didn't drink.
We threw a
on the
bunch of
trip.
stuff out,
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're splitting it between like 15 people, then
But you don't want
the
to be
death of
left
like 2
with
cases
not
is
enough.
not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You don't want to have not enough beer. 'Cause what if
Or others.
or other things?
Yeah.
Everything's legal out there.
Yeah.
Well, I bought those to bring back. Those are my.
Oh, you did it on
souvenir-
purpose?
Yeah, just like Blake with the water. I bought beer. He brought water. I brought beer.
You want to show what I found on my doorstep yesterday? A quick bout of viewer mail. We're saving. So we've been off for a while. I will announce we're saving today's viewer mail birthdays till the kind of the end of the program.
Okay.
Before today in history, because there's just too many. This was on my doorstep. Blake is going to unveil.
But I have to take a little bit of credit because as soon as Dan gave me the box, I said, "I know."
He told me what it was.
I know exactly what this. I could feel it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He felt the aura.
Oh,
Some
gallon of
Arrowhead
Arrowhead.
water.
Gallon
Nice.
of Arrowhead water.
And
you
that'll
gonna
be
be
much
gallon
easier.
guy now?
I'll do anything for Arrowhead. Yeah.
Yes, we lugged 500 pounds of Arrowhead water back.
Yeah, and I for some reason I just didn't believe it until I had all 12 cases in my car, and I could definitely feel the impact on my car.
Yeah.
Like it was just leaning
Yeah.
in the back left.
No, I was parked at Dan's house for RV departure on day one, and I don't know, like it's weird, like seeing you really early in the morning. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the type of people that you only see at certain times every single day. When you see them outside of that time, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so I Ubered over, which is so lame,
You Ubered where?
to your house
When?
this morning.
You live a walk away.
I know, and that's the thing is,
It's a 20-minute walk.
I was telling my wife, like, I've always been like, man, I wish I lived in like an urban downtown area, like just to have that lifestyle.
So I could walk around.
Yeah, and I took a 4-minute Uber to your house.
What did that cost?
$5.
What a beating.
Huge beating. But then like your wife and your kid were out there. It was like $6.50, and I'm like, man, this is weird.
My kid was outside?
I'm pretty sure. that's
Okay,
the
you
one
didn't
who's
see
driving
her?
the no, she was in the car.
All right, she was not.
Okay, but your wife was.
Yeah. Maybe the guy, she was letting the guy out.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Which is fine.
And it was weird too because it seemed like she thought that I had forgot my car was there. She was like, "Need something?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, we
The
talked
car
about
really
this.
bothered the dogs, dude.
Just it being there.
I lived with it for 2 days, and she said it was like that for a week and a half or whatever.
It's just parked on the street.
I know, but it's not usually there.
Okay.
So every day they're barking at the window when they see it. When we
Huh.
walk outside, they're like looking weird. Like just the fact that car was parked right in front of our house.
I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that.
No, I wouldn't have thought of it either. But
But
they bark at anything unusual.
She said it in like a way that I had screwed up. You know, like she was like, "Need a little something." I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, she's.
That's why I came over here at 6:50 in the morning."
Yeah, that was an odd choice. You could have done it last night. In fact, you texted me that you were going to come over last night.
To be honest,
You were wasted.
no, I was not. What it was
You were doing it.
was
He could not leave the house.
I was
again.
definitely not doing it. It was, this is really lame, but my daughter was like, "Will you stay in bed with me?"
Mm.
Like I put her down, and she was like,
Yeah,
you know,
no, that's
"I
not
missed
lame,
you."
dude.
And she was like, "Can you stay in here?" And then by the time she was asleep, it was like 9:00, and I'm like, "I'm not messing with this right now." It is nice to be reminded that they miss you.
Imagine that poor guy
Dude, I
driving
know.
Uber
I
at
couldn't even believe-
6:30 in the
I
morning.
tipped him
Like,
$10.
so it cost you $15.
Yeah, I was surprised.
And it's
I
so
could
nice
even-
and cool, nicer and cooler than usual. Like just for a little morning walk, get your steps in.
I should have walked.
You could have carried your
Yeah,
kettlebells.
bring your kettlebells,
Wear the weight vest.
your sweatbands. Yeah,
Why are you so obsessed with the fact that I wear a headband?
it's just
It does look funny.
kind of strange.
You look like Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy who's going to play basketball.
It's not cotton.
It's still you're dressing.
Where do
up,
you guys fall? on
dressing
this?
up for your workout?
Oh, I mean, I've got long hair, so I've got to wear something.
Got to wear the headband.
He has long hair.
Yeah, and I'm bald, and that's why I would have to wear one to catch the sweat from my eyes. But
And if you wore a headband on the elliptical, I'd probably make fun of you too.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't. I'd just wear a hat like a human.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Human.
Trey Lance is back, boys.
You know what? We have a lot of sports, but we should tell you that. So today is Tuesday, which is generally a behind a paywall show, but because it's kind of our Monday, this is an ad-supported program, and we would like to say hello to Early Bird CBD Gummies.
Indeed.
That is a new sponsor for the old Dumb Zone. In fact, you know what? This is not your regular. In fact, this is the reason my wife loves these over just the regular CBD. It has THC in it.
Yeah, baby.
And you will chill out. So, like, this is not something, if you need to pass a...
You'll just start hearing this music?
You're going to chill out for sure.
Spa music.
If you have to, like, pass a drug test for work or something, this is not for you.
No.
But if you want to chill out, and it will help you sleep, that could be an ancillary, like a little bonus for you, then I suggest you use these. Oh, wait. I brought some for you. Did I give them to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I already
Hypothetically,
I ate all of them.
if you
okay, good. You
hypothetically,
should see one
if you haven't had to deal with your kids or your family for a couple weeks, and you come home and you're like, boy, this is really stressful, I recommend earlybirdcbd.com and the promo code DUMBZone. A little 20% off there.
Yeah, it's a very consistent microdose, 2.5 milligrams of the THC. So you should use them to wind down, and then you can get a good night's sleep out of it, you know? So don't, like, take it in the middle of the night because I can't sleep. You just want to kind of take it early, like in the evening when you know you're going to be hitting bed pretty soon.
Maybe taking the edge off a little bit.
Take the edge off. They say it is a Zen-like experience.
I can hear it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this soundtrack will play. It'll help with anxiety. Ron Washington.
This will work better than what he did.
So if you've only had CBD gummies in the past, it's never did anything for you.
These are different.
I think this is for you. What is the call to action, Jake?
The call to action, Dan, is earlybirdcbd.com, and the promo code is DUMBZone. That'll get you 20% off.
Is there a space between dumb
No.
and zone?
Absolutely
No?
not.
So all the letters consecutively?
Yep.
Okay.
No
2
spaces.
syllables, no spaces. Earlybirdcbd.com.
Correct.
Promo code DUMBZone gets you what?
20% off, Dan.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Okay. That's their tagline. It's good stuff. Thanks, Early Bird CBD. Okay, on today's program, sports-wise, I have Cowboys, couple Cowboy things here. I have some Mavericks. I finished a sports book on the way that I'd like to tell you guys about.
Very excited. That was an experience kind of like I've told you before about my bit of watching someone watch a movie on a plane.
Okay.
No idea what Thor Ragnarok is about, but somebody 4 rows up and across the aisle is watching it.
So you'll watch it from behind them?
No audio.
Okay.
And just sort of piece it together on my own. And that's kind of what I did when you were reading that book. Whenever I was like in view of you having the book open, I would just read it as you were reading it. Yeah.
The book is called Pressure by Sam Ratigliano. So because we were going to training camp, when I'm around football, I like to get in a football state of mind. Like, do you remember, I think last year I might have read Belichick, like during, as the NFL season is heating up. I like to do that.
And you'll go on a walk listening to NFL films and...
Well, I do work out a little bit with NFL films. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
It's totally normal. Lots of people do it. But yeah, so Sam Ratigliano, I'll give you a quick book review. Sam Ratigliano was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns when I first had any tiny sports consciousness. So I don't know how old you were. But I guess it looks like 10, 11-ish when I first started to realize, something's going on in sports that everybody's talking about. And that's like my earliest memory of sports is the 1980 Cleveland Browns that should have gone and won the Super Bowl.
The first one I have was a little bit earlier than that, and it's the 1992, I think that's Pasadena, right? The Super Bowl.
Is that the first Cowboys Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Of the 90s?
Yeah. And I was 7. And it's interesting now that I think about this because I'm pretty sure my parents went to a Super Bowl party and we had a babysitter. But then the Pro Bowl was like a month later, so the party might not have gone that well now that I think about it.
Oh, that year?
Yeah, I think so.
Jake's mom told him that they were getting a divorce at halftime of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel.
But you know what? It was probably for the better. They would just fought and argued, and you would have grown up in that kind of a household instead of the...
No, and the interesting thing about it is once that happened, they never argued.
Sam Rutigliano was Coach of the Year 2 years in a row in 79 and 80.
How many times has that happened?
7. Oh, I have no idea.
Doesn't it feel like that's always we can't give it twice award?
Like in modern day, perhaps, yeah.
Huh.
But I guess he took over the team, and they were really bad, but then they got kind of average, and then they really blew up in 1980, or the 1979 season. And there's a couple funny things in here. So I think in the end, I'm going to say not a good coach.
Okay.
A fine coach. Seems like a really good human.
But like when you were a kid, you thought he was a much better...
Well, yeah, you just don't know anything.
Yeah.
And you're fresh off of reading the Belichick book, so anybody compared to him is probably not
There
going
you
to
go.
seem very good.
He did have very progressive thoughts on the drug problems of the 80s because he started something called the Inner Circle with the Browns. And he has gotten me as close as I can come to liking Art Modell again.
Wow.
Because Art Modell was fully on board with the prevention, treatment, and very importantly, they say aftercare in their drug program. Kept it totally anonymous, despite the local paper trying to figure out who was in the drug program. But they were very, very progressive thoughts, whereas most teams would be like, if they found out you had a drug problem, they just kind of get rid of you.
Yeah.
Or if you're like a really good player, they try to figure it out. How can we just keep you being a good player? They weren't really worried about you as a human, and Sam Rutigliano does seem like he was worried about you as a human, at least in this book. One of the things, he gets a bit religious in it. You might know later he ended up being the head coach of Liberty University. I don't know if you did know that.
I did not know that.
After he was fired from the Browns.
Now, was he the one who gave the thumbs up from a hospital?
That was Hugh Freeze.
Oh.
But his Finding the Lord story is just something I never knew about. This was early in his coaching career when he bounced around the NFL, Denver, Jets, here and there. He was driving late nights with his wife and 4-year-old daughter. He fell asleep at the wheel, and the 4-year-old daughter was killed.
Oh.
And so that's got to be a tough situation to ever come out of. And, you know, sometimes religion will help you do that, and it did for him.
I think I'd probably end up going the other way.
Hit the bottle?
Well, just like give up, you know?
Yeah.
The guilt. I'm like, I am a 2-time Coach of the Year winner.
Well, he would become that.
Okay.
He did this thing early in his coaching career. What I knew him for, or what anybody in Cleveland knew him for. Again, this was before I had real sports consciousness during the late 80s, early 90s Browns. That was when they went to the AFC Championship game 3 years in a row. That's the drive with Elway or the fumble with Ernest Biner. But 3 years in a row they went to the AFC Championship, never got to the Super Bowl. But This was called Red Right 88. Have you ever heard me use that term?
I've heard it from you and from many others.
Okay, so in the 1980 playoffs, the Browns get to the playoffs for the first time in whenever, I mean, Art Modell famously fired Paul Brown, who invented football. He invented a lot of stuff in football. But he fired him. They ended up winning another NFL championship with a coach named Blanton Collier after that. But it was basically like Switzer winning the Super Bowl here with Jerry's team.
Yeah.
So it was like right after the firing, they won the NFL championship, but it didn't really count. So ever since he had fired Paul Brown, they were thought of as like a laughingstock until Rutigliano came around. And so he brings them back to the playoffs. They're playing Oakland in a very, very, one of the coldest games ever. The Oakland Raiders come to Cleveland. The Oakland Raiders would go on to win the Super Bowl that year.
A little transitive property action.
So that's why it was always thought that, of course, had the Browns won this game, they would have won the Super Bowl. And it was a very low-scoring game, of course, in the very, very cold of Cleveland. Like real. I don't even know what, but you're talking about, literally 0 degrees. Minus 10 or minus 30 wind chill, that kind of thing.
Can't wait.
We'll be there pretty early in the season.
That's true.
So it's first down for the Browns they're down by 2. And they're on the 13-yard line, the Oakland 13-yard line. They had just had a long drive of their own, from their own 15 to the Oakland 13.
Blake, do you know what's about to happen?
No.
So they call timeout. All they have to do is kick a field goal. However, their kicker, Don Cockcroft, is the NFL's last straight-ahead kicker.
Okay.
The toe puncher.
Yeah.
Which was popularized, I think, by Hall of Famer Lou Groza of the Browns back in the 60s or 50s or whatever. He was a offensive tackle / kicker, Lou Groza. But Don Cockcroft was then the last of all the straight-ahead kickers. All these newfangled foreigners are doing soccer-style kicking now.
Is this Don?
But Don Cockcroft...
How is that a pro athlete?
He was at the very end of his career. In fact, if you want to, look up Don Cockcroft stats. This particular year, he wasn't that great, as I remember. Or reading about it, at least. I don't really remember. I didn't watch these games game to game. But in this particular game, he had already missed an extra point and 3 field goals.
Damn.
Because it is minus 30 wind chill. The wind is blowing like crazy.
Yeah.
Tom Flores, the coach of Oakland, he won the opening kickoff, and I think back then it was always receive. We won the kickoff. Well, he did not receive. He wanted instead to think, okay, where is the windiest part of the stadium? It was the open end of the stadium where the dog pound would eventually be, right by Lake Erie. And he wanted the Browns to be heading that direction in the fourth quarter, which they were.
I just want to point one thing out real quick for our visual audience. That guy that was just on the screen, he retired at 35.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he looked like
and
he was 44.
I don't look good at all.
I thought
but that guy looks 10 years older than me.
George Blanda.
Yeah, that's a probably 33-year-old man.
Yeah.
Right there. That's shocking.
He only made 62% of his kicks in 1980.
People were older back then.
They were
older and hairier.
Definitely hairier. Oh, my God. That form.
He looks ridiculous.
So if they kick a field goal, the game is over. If they make the field goal.
Sure.
So the strategy was run the ball on first and third downs to keep the clock running. And what they did was instead they threw the ball. Now, the way Sam Rutigliano tells it, he says, I wanted to tell the media all the strategy, but it wouldn't have helped. I wanted to protect Brian. Brian Sipe was the quarterback. Brian Sipe was the NFL MVP in 1979. The MVP of the NFL. I wanted to protect Brian.
Never.
We lost. That's all that mattered. There was nothing wrong with the call. The problem was the interception.
That's the thing.
Brian should have never thrown the ball in the middle of the field. He should have done exactly what he was told. The play was designed to go to Dave Logan. He couldn't have been any more open. So he says he just told Brian Sipe, whatever the play was, if he's not wide open,
throw it away.
Just throw it into the stands.
Yeah.
You're at the 13-yard line. Rutigliano says, Brian Sipe didn't play it that way to the media. I had protected him in my comments. He didn't return the favor. Later that year at the Senior Bowl, Don Shula told me he was very upset with Brian's comments after the Raiders game. So apparently, Brian Sipe kind of threw Rutigliano under the bus.
What happened to the whole religious angle where he's a cool, nice guy at this point in his career?
Well, I think he is a cool, nice guy, but he's now writing this book saying, "Hey, let's get one thing straight here." So yeah, apparently Brian Sipe kind of just went out and said, "Well, I don't call the plays. Like that was the play that was called, and I made the right read and the right throw."
That's a wild story, man. His entire career is wild if you just look at his Wikipedia page.
Brian Sipe?
No.
Oh, Rutigliano?
Rutigliano, yeah.
Yeah, so
10 years in Europe. 10 years
really?
At Liberty, yeah.
He ended up going to Europe later?
Yeah.
Brian Sipe would be wooed away by the USFL in 1983. But he was nowhere near the player he was. In fact, that year he had been benched.
An MVP getting benched?
3 years later.
Still, that's crazy.
He got benched. He was flown to New York on his off day to talk about a move to possibly the New Jersey Generals of the USFL. So Brian Sipe, not that great even when he was great, but then fading, he gets benched. Who do you think was wooing him with a huge, huge contract that nobody would match in the NFL?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump signed Brian Sipe away.
I promise you that's not on this Wikipedia page.
No. But that's who ended up signing Brian Sipe.
And it's crazy. I know that it's... I don't even actually know the story as well as you do from Jeff Pearlman's book, but it is kind of funny when people will put out the meme that's just like, if they would have just let him buy the Bills.
Yeah.
Like, he would not be a part of the public lexicon in the way that he is at all.
Man,
for the Bills.
I'm watching some of this game. Sipe was 13 of 40 that game. 3 interceptions.
Keep chucking it, brother.
But yeah, that final play call was on him.
But let's throw.
Yeah.
Let's keep throwing it.
Jeez.
2 more notes that I thought were interesting about this book, and I'll end with why I'm not sure he was the best coach. But one was interesting because they were talking about how they acquired Lyle Alzado. You've heard of him, perhaps?
I've not.
Okay, he was an Oakland Raiders lineman. He would end up going on to Denver, but I think in between there, he went to the Browns. But he was a very, very good All-Pro, or at least Pro Bowl, defensive lineman. And so he says, Lyle had the ingredient every football player needs: toughness. That's contagious. You don't find it in every draft. In fact, you don't find it at all, much at all anymore. He says now players are, this is 1984 he wrote this book.
Okay.
Now players are astute businessmen with agents and endorsements and huge salaries and incentives. They don't seem to have the singleness of purpose that players used to have. I can't blame them, but the hoopla and the big money allow them to be less hungry when they play. So every era.
No, it's It's the best. Like reading the New York Times baseball thing from 1918 or something, right?
Yes, every era, fans, coaches, media are upset at how much these players are making.
They don't want it anymore.
So is this why he didn't win the big one? So when the Browns made the playoffs that year in 1979 and would end up having Red Right 88 called and, losing that game, he says they won their final game of the season. They beat Cincinnati to get into the playoffs for the first time in quite a few years. He tells his players, he gathers them around and says, "These are the moments to savor. You'll remember this day the rest of your life. Enjoy it. Get a still shot of it in your mind so you can picture it later. You're on the mountaintop now.
Oh, no.
Enjoy it because for every other peak, there's a valley. This is your moment to remember always. You did it. You won this game. You may never again have a moment as sweet as this one, so
God,
bask in it now.
why is this so Cleveland?
Thanks for a super win." The guys went back to celebrating, and the locker room was a noisy, happy place. But so, yes, he basically hung a mission accomplished banner up.
It's very Wade Phillips, but it's also very Cleveland to be like, this is as good as it's ever going to get.
Right, and for Vertigliano's team,
yeah,
it absolutely was. All right, moving on to some Cowboys stuff. Want to do that?
Sure. I guess Mozzie had an allergic reaction or something.
Yeah, he had a latte.
I heard it was like a shake, a protein shake, and it had like peanut in it.
How do you not know?
And it was like either mislabeled or he grabbed the wrong one or something like that. They're making protein shakes for everyone. So what happened to him? Just puking?
Probably just swelled up. And
he definitely swelled up. He was on the bus to the airport, but I don't think he took off. That's a weird one.
Yeah, he stayed back in Oxnard.
I
thought it was milk.
I think it was like almond milk or something.
Oh, okay.
You guys know that's like actually bad for you?
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I don't know. What is
How do
it?
you milk the almond? Just a little...
A little teat?
Yeah. A little, how do you do it? You squeeze. I've tried to squeeze it as hard as I can. That is a euphemism.
He's definitely on the very unfair, it's always something list, guys, for me.
Well, I mean...
Like the guy just accidentally drank the wrong thing, and now I'm like, this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's always something, but it's just kind of like, what has he ever done?
Not much.
Like, that's the thing. It's always nothing. Like, you don't see him in the stat sheet. He doesn't stand out in a game or anything.
No.
And it could be a rare, failed first-round draft pick.
That's the thing, is it's rare.
It's not rare when you're talking about defensive linemen.
Okay, yeah. But it just seems
Taco?
in the past...
Taco for sure, but you got Osa, which hit, but...
He was second round, wasn't he? Second or third?
Third, I think. But I'm just talking top 3 rounds, defensive linemen. I guess you could count Micah. Depends on what you call him. But that is a graveyard. And on the offensive line, it's Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And Guyton seems to be
like
the
a
real
solid
deal
starter.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It is great. They need it. But yeah, I don't know. It's what does he have? Mozzie have one more year left? Like they're not going to 5th-year option him. I can't believe they took him in the first round.
I thought he was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got 2 more till you have to worry about that. This is his second year. So he's got 2 more years, and then you can decide on the 5th-year option.
Does he make the roster next year?
Yeah, I mean, he'll be under his rookie deal.
I don't think.
But
it doesn't feel like they're a team that would
just move on.
That would release. Like I've heard people talking about, should they release Trey Lance?
How could you do that after that performance the other night?
Easily. I don't think he was great.
No.
Like he had stats.
He has stats,
which does happen
run.
occasionally. Occasionally in fantasy
score a touchdown
football.
on you.
Yeah, he can run, but even though his stats are way better than they were game 1, he just doesn't. I don't know, man. he doesn't inspire any confidence at all.
No.
Like, if you're looking out there and thinking, I'd rather have Cooper Rush be my quarterback, well, that tells you all you need to know. The guy's been in the league like 3 years.
It is funny, though, just to play the Raiders and realize
For
that
4 years.
they don't have a quarterback at all.
Dude.
Like, whatever that is. Gardner?
What about Gardner Minshew? You guys don't like Gardner
Aiden
Minshew?
O'Connell and Gardner Minshew are their two options. And, like, they both have to play in the preseason because both of them suck. And Trey Lance can't get on that team. Like, he was available for anyone who wanted him. And that's an NFL team debating whether they're going to start Aiden O'Connell at quarterback.
And I believe famously,
there's no way they would touch Trey Lance.
Didn't Jerry say, like, he made that trade?
Wasn't getting off the phone.
Like, he didn't even ask anyone else, like, in the organization?
Yeah.
He's just like, whoa.
We got to go before this becomes a good time.
I don't know what that was.
Formerly, what, third overall draft pick? Because I keep
You
on
got it this time.
Here we go.
Second.
You got it this time.
But yeah, like that allure of that was just too much. Oh my God, what if he does turn out? Without thinking about the salary cap implications, without thinking like Mike Shanahan has had him for 2 years.
Kyle, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan. And that's really interesting that they even did that.
Everybody gets one wrong, man.
Yeah, but that's a major one.
It was
like
pretty
just
major.
a couple years before, they had pantsed the Bears.
But it makes sense, though. Like, if you see him play football, it makes sense that he would be great with Kyle Shanahan.
Like, do you think Shanahan's like, look, I just give me the raw, something I can really mold. He's very athletic.
Yeah.
He can fit into my offense for sure. I will make him. So you have to really give Shanahan a lot of credit for, like, let's just get
cut
rid
bait.
of him.
And John Lynch, yeah.
Get whatever we can.
Somebody called Jerry.
Huh?
Somebody called Jerry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we're finding out he didn't fit in San Francisco because he's just not accurate.
No.
And a lot of that offense is just run after catch, and Lance is just spraying it all over the place.
And Purdy can at least do that.
Yeah. And so
put it where it needs to go.
I'm curious if Jerry just thought this was kind of a leverage play with Dak.
That's not a bad idea or a bad point. I mean, but a fourth-round pick to piss off your quarterback seems like a really cut off your nose to spite your face type thing. I was pretty sure by the time we got back here today that, like, from the trip that we would have a Dak deal. And that just seems to have completely died down.
You got to think they're talking about it, but I don't know.
No reports?
Maybe my dream's going to happen.
Go to the market?
Let him hit the market.
Yeah, why would Dak want to sign now? He's just a few months away from hitting the open market?
Yeah, no, he's got them bent over for sure.
Right. He would want to sign now if they gave him a deal that he could get on the open market.
Right.
You think? I think the price goes up if he hits free agency.
Yeah, but he's going to make them pay like he's on the open market, even if he signs it before he gets to the open market.
I mean, there is a case for he does know he's the Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
Are you about to do a take less?
Not take less, but take equal or maybe the slightest, the Dirk discount was like $2 million or something.
Yeah, and he was lauded for it.
Yeah. But so the slight, he's not going to take $10 million less like Brady, but just kind of like it would be easier and better, and he lives here, and you're the Cowboys quarterback. And
yeah, but what if that sucks?
What do you mean?
Steven and Jerry and now yodeling kid is giving you tips on how to throw.
I think it's great for like the start of your career to build your brand, but at this point, even if he were to end up in wherever.
But I mean, he's got weapons around him. They're going to always keep that, he's got a really good young offensive line. He's got weapons around him, provided they lock up CD, which they will.
They will. But I mean, other teams
they
can
realize
provide that
offense, they're not going to ever build this team around defense. They know offense sells tickets, and they love a great fantasy team.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to get $65 million a year next year.
Jesus.
And be the highest paid NFL player, and all this will be moot.
Next year here?
Yeah. Which is, again, the bumble-effed worst way they could have possibly handled this.
I got to think Jerry and Steven are like talking to the coaching staff, because Jerry and Steven don't know themselves, but the coaching staff has to be like, it's Trey Lance, man. No, we can't be moving forward with Trey Lance. So it's either Dak or you're starting totally over. And what does that mean?
Yeah,
unless Shador falls in the draft.
Which he could.
See, I knew there were two names just now.
Oh, what was the other one?
Baker, like if there was some sort of a trade available for the Bake Show.
There was last. Boy, that would have been great. What did they trade for him? Did we determine? 5th rounder?
Yeah.
Like you could have had Baker for cheaper than you would have had Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I want it for you.
Yeah.
I want LeBron to own the Mavs. I want Mike Tyson to like buy our podcast somehow. I want Tiger Woods to give you golf lessons, and I want Baker Mayfield to be the Cowboys quarterback at some point.
Yeah. I've given up the Johnny Manziel dream.
That's big of you.
Yeah.
But professional golfer though, right?
I have not given up that dream, but I think I still have 7 years on that, right?
For Johnny?
Yeah. Or he gave us 7
He gave himself 10 years, yeah.
Yeah. Brandon Aubrey.
How about that?
He's like a robot.
You know what's weird?
I found his weakness, kickoffs.
Yeah, that's a weird one. We're working it
out.
I'm just hoping like his little short kick he's got to make for kickoff, like he's trying to, whatever you call that, he's just nubbing it. He's Don Cockcrofting it. He's
it's a half-foot kicker.
Kinda.
Yeah, like is that? I don't want that to ruin the rhythm that Brandon Aubrey like kind of has, because on kickoffs he would just boot it right into the end zone, and now he's got to like kind of play it.
Yeah, but he did tell us that it's going to save his leg, which is
not
good.
Pounding one out of the end zone every time,
kicking it as hard as he can.
You know what's weird is like we don't know him that well at all. He probably meets 7,000 slapdies like us in the course of a month. But whenever he's lining up a kick, I get nervous, like I'm watching a family member play sports.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm like, fingers crossed, 66. I think
ever
got
since,
this, Obs.
Like when he told us his whole routine on how he figured it out, and they mapped it out and marked it on the, I love kind of watching him go through it.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, but it makes me nervous.
Because I wonder if that's...
Because it goes so fast, dude.
What do you mean?
Just think about what happened to Dan Bailey.
Oh, you just get in the yips or whatever?
They gave him like a 5-year fully guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
Dan Bailey. At one point, he was the most accurate kicker in NFL history, and then he just couldn't find a job.
Yeah.
He just bombed.
Well,
which is why your wife is telling you go back out there and play in that game, even if we have a new kid, because we need that job.
Yeah. No, but he is definitely, I don't know. He's a robot.
He's a robot.
I love it. 66-yard field goal, and it absolutely would have worked.
It hit the net, didn't it?
It did. Yeah.
And it's so funny once he does it, too. It fires everyone up. Like, McCarthy can't believe it. He's just laughing. Like, okay, I have Trey Lance who can only get it. Actually, Trey Lance barely got that, was that was a scramble from the pocket, right? Yeah, that's right. He had to slide, and they got the timeout in. That was incredible.
I love our little special teams buddies.
Who's the color commentator on the Cowboy game?
Isaiah Stanback, I think.
Blue Star Network?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow it down a little bit.
Talking too fast for you?
I think he's just so excited to be in the booth and to show what he can do. And
yeah, it's tough for those guys because they get 3 games a year.
Right.
And it's hard to establish a rhythm, but I thought they got way better for game 2.
You think so?
Yeah. And I didn't realize that Bill Jones had been doing games for this long, because they played the Romo clip from 20 years ago, and it's Bill Jones on the call.
Oh, really?
Mickey's walking all over him. It was great.
That's a very unnecessary shot.
Well, he's been he's like the CBS weekend guy, right?
Bill Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Channel 11.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Babe is with CBS, so I'm sure Babe hooked him up there to get him. Well, CBS obviously runs the games, but.
I just want to say respect to Bill Jones. It feels like you guys are kind of trampling on his career right now. And
what do you mean? I was just surprised he's been calling games for that long. That's all.
Donovan used to say that he had a bird mouth.
Like tiny little mouth.
Really?
Like that little bird that would peck the water. You know? But yeah, when's the next game? Do we even know? Or preseason is just so crazy.
And the
but
thing is, too, like, it's going to be obsolete very soon.
The thing is, you look around the league, though, I'm seeing, Mahomes was playing?
Behind the back pass.
I'm just saying, all these other players don't, find some, or coaches find some value in it, but they're just so afraid that, like, if they put Dak out there, he'd get hurt.
I don't know. To each his own.
I thought the weirdest one was the Hall of Fame game with Caleb. Like, okay, dude, we're really at the point where the 1-1 on a new team.
Well, they're playing
in
this
the
week,
preseason. I know, and they had an extra game, but still.
Yeah, might as well see him just a little bit.
So yeah, the final game is Saturday, Cowboys Chargers, and then I don't know. I mean, I feel like eventually you're going to go down to 2 and then 1 game, and then none, and you'll just have those joint practices like the ones that we saw in Oxnard.
Well, there's going to be an 18-game schedule. That's no doubt.
So that'll take one off.
Yeah, I think I've heard Jerry say 20.
Eventually, I think
that's insane.
I think your son will see a 20-game schedule.
Although now when you put it like that, I like it.
What do you mean?
He gets more football.
Yeah. Football's good. What do you guys think of the running back room?
I would like to keep Deuce.
He seems like the classic guy that every year you're going to say, in preseason, like, because he's playing against third stringers.
Yeah.
And, you're going to, like last year, I didn't think there's anything wrong with him. And then he gets out, like, in a real game. It's like, whoa, it's tiny.
I know, but I'd rather have him than Royce Freeman, who we know. And his dad's part of the coaching staff. Remember that?
Like he's a scout,
It was
right?
a cool video.
Remember that cool draft moment?
Yeah. I don't know.
That was probably another Jerry pick.
He's not an NFL player.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is Zeke?
Probably not. Probably not. But I mean, he's a Cowboy, and those are two different things, right?
So he'll be a significant contributor, or at least
first carry.
First carry of the season.
That's a good guess.
I really like seeing the in person. Like he just does that, like literally, like he's Beavis.
He seems like a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, but he just walks around and does that. Like he walks up to kid with autograph, and he's like, and then he walks up to the podium. Like he's just constantly in that weird phase that only Zeke can occupy.
So I'd like to do something that we can only do on the recording it live to tape podcast.
Okay.
Just something a little different. Perhaps in the future you'll remember where you were the first time you heard this. But we're selling all kinds of advertising left and right. But one thing that we have sold is a quick spot. So let's do this. This will just be a quick spot. Okay?
Okay.
So it is for Prosper Ford. Of course, you know that I bought many vehicles. Maybe it's 4 now from Chaz over the years. Chaz Gilmore owns Prosper Ford. He owns Great Line Ford. His commitment to excellence includes impeccable service after the sale. And the all-new Prosper Ford is up the tollway, 380 and the tollway. Or you can go online, prosperford.com. You're going to get a great deal. Mention that you heard about him on our little podcast. And give him a big hug for us. So it's Prosper Ford. You're going to get an awesome deal, awesome service after the sale as well. And we invite you to get up there. 380 and the toll road. It is a huge, perfect dealership. Prosperford.com as well. So there is the quick spot. Can you believe how quick that was?
It was fantastic.
I hope maybe you have to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on 0.5.
How can you do that on the Apple?
I'm going to put it on 0.5.
0.5?
Yeah.
You can listen at 0.5?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you'll be able to find out.
Man, it
exactly
trips me out so bad whenever somebody will clip audio of us at 1.5 or 1.75 and send it along. I'm like, how are you sane listening to this?
Do you think a lot of people listen fast?
A lot more than I thought. I mean, it happens every couple weeks or something. Somebody will send something, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, I'll do it for like a press conference if I'm searching for some audio or something, but just to listen to people talking. Very weird to me.
So I was offered a chance to be in a different so was doing some things this weekend. I am prepping. I'm doing some fantasy prep.
Yeah, it's that time.
Are you like do you have a time when you'll sit down and say I'm going to devote now to fantasy for this half hour, or whatever?
Yep.
Let's look at this and this and this. I know you're not into fantasy, Jake.
No, I'm not.
It's unfortunate because it's so fun. But so I'm getting my fantasy stuff ready. A lot of good names.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of sleeper names.
You going to go 0 running back?
I don't know if I can do 0 running back. But I think we need to get a receiver and a tight end early.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a different game. I mean, you'll consider going tight end first round for sure. Just because the value there can be so much higher.
But, I mean, you remember back in the day when it was all running backs early? The game has changed.
My gosh, Jake. I can remember that. But I'm in in a Monopoly type game. It's where you get like a fake $10,000 and then you can gamble every week.
Sure.
I'm usually out of that in a couple weeks because I like to gamble all of it right away. I think I really know this team, and I think Baker lost me that one a couple years ago. The last one standing, or the knockout league, I'm in 2 of those. You know what that is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all you got to do is pick a winner. Seems so easy.
Yeah.
Moneyline, straight up, right?
It's insane how hard it is.
Yeah.
But I once lasted like double-digit weeks. It was like the best fall of my life.
The funniest is just like the team, like the leagues where like 90% gets knocked out in 1 week. Those are my favorite. And I typically hear about that when I call my dad on Monday morning.
Well, did I tell you I called Chappie this weekend?
You did.
Because I'm in a couple of these things, and I'll get an email, and they say, invite others if you want. And I think, well, who would love to do this? And Chappie would. Although he did say he is concerned because he's like, well, I tell you what, I've been retired, but I'm busier than I've ever been. I'm selling a house, and you wouldn't believe it. I can't sell my house, and then I already got the down payment on another. Like, he's in a pickle here.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Having a house for sale.
Yeah. No, I've heard quite a bit about
he's got this other house that he's already bought.
Yeah.
And he's not getting any nibbles on the house he's trying to sell.
Are you just like torturing me by me having to listen to this story for the second time?
But he's just telling me why
why
he has so much going on. He's not sure if he can commit to this other league or whatever.
But he's in.
But then he's like, as far as the doing picks on your show, he's like, I'm not sure I can commit to 17 weeks because I got this house and I got this other house and then I got this thing. And he goes, what would you say to that? And I said to him, I'd say you got to suck it up and figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Because we just need you 17 times. It's once a week. We got a bye week.
I mean, here's what happened.
Did you tell him that too?
I've told him that several times.
Okay.
But here's what happened.
He just wanted to run it by me.
He had a bad year, and now he's looking for an excuse.
A way out?
It's 15 minutes a week. He could easily do the show, but people started chirping him last year. I think somebody found his email address.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And people started letting him know that he had a bad year.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what it's like to be the man in the arena.
So you know Kevin Turner?
Quite well.
Kevin Turner, I think still on the Freak, actually. He's the cockroach over there. Did not go down.
That might have actually been what saved him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
He also is part of a Cowboy podcast with John Machota, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good dude. But he has invited me to be in his fantasy league, which is a Saturday Night Live fantasy league. And so he's like, the only commitment you have is one time. It's the draft. And you don't have to update it all year long. And I thought you might be interested in this because you do care about SNL somewhat.
Well, how does it work?
So what it is, there's 10 guys in the league, and you get 10 picks. So there's going to be 100 names taken off the board. And what you are doing is trying to guess either host or musical guest. Now, and you'll get a point, or maybe it's 7 points. I don't know what it is, the point system, but it's you score if one of yours pans out. So it's kind of like at the beginning of last year. I'm not sure if Shane had blown up and they knew Shane was going to be it, but sometimes, they don't announce this ahead of time.
Right.
Because pop culture trends will change, something will happen, somebody gets hot, and they'll be like, oh, let's book that person to be the guest or the host. So I think next week I'm going to be in the fantasy draft, and I'm going to be following this, but I will take your suggestions or any email help as well. Because, in fact, my daughter was like, oh, so-and-so has an album coming out in the fall. And I'm like, okay, let's write that name down I've never heard of before.
Chapel Roan is definitely – you got to book that one 1A.
Or you might see Deadpool is coming out, or Deadpool versus whatever. And
right.
Ryan Reynolds might be a guy. It's the 50th anniversary season. Of SNL.
Yeah, so that's going to be throwback. Aykroyd.
So now maybe some throwback guys. Maybe we got to get Alec Baldwin again because he's a 5-time host or whatever. If you get Justin Timberlake, and he's the musical guest, like I think
up.
Last year, Billie Eilish was host and musical guest the same show. So you get 2 points if you can get that.
That's a very complicated, complex scoring system that I appreciate you explaining to me.
But
are there experts like pushing out content, like rankings about this?
What do you mean?
Experts in the industry.
Who's the Saturday Night Live Matthew Berry?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay, well that could be Jake. I'm offering you that forum.
No, I think you're vastly overrating my pop culture knowledge in 2024.
Okay.
I like the show. I think it's gotten better. I've laughed pretty much every time I've watched it for like the last year. But I don't know who's popular at all.
Is that the bar now?
What?
You just like to laugh at it?
Yeah, I mean,
a couple of times.
Isn't that kind of the point?
Yeah, but there was a long period of time where I didn't. But Chapel or Chappelle Roan, I don't know how to say her name. You want her.
Dave Chappell. He's a good guest because they had him on right after the election last time, and there's going to be an election this time, so maybe
that's solid.
They'll have some.
You got to make a
there.
political play. I mean, Kamala is going to be on the show.
Going to be on, but I can't see her as the host. Streets. You know?
Yeah. Who? I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, don't say names we've never heard of.
Well, I think that's going to be the whole list.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. So that's what my daughter was trying to help out with as well.
Do you want to give ours out? If you like the idea?
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
I didn't know if you were prepared to do that.
Let's do it. We're going to do a Dumb Zone Survivor Pick'em League.
So a knockout league.
Knockout.
Whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Last one standing.
We'll get to the money figures or whatever, but it's going to – go ahead.
I feel like we need to be careful about the tax situation here. If we could all just –
Let's pretend it's monopoly. It's a donation.
Is it legal to run this?
Maybe we need a lawyer. I don't know.
Okay, well, we have lots
of those.
Yeah.
I think before you say too much else.
Okay, well, let's just gauge interest then.
Okay.
If you would like to be a part of a proposed Dumb Zone Knockout League.
Because Blake has a way we can set up a website where you would just be able to put in your pick every week.
No, I'm not concerned about like the technical back end. I feel like he'll nail it.
Because most people who are into this, like they have to get an email every week and they update the spreadsheet and all that. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, an app or something. Yeah. But yeah, if we were to do something like that and you would be interested, let us know.
How do they let us know? You're asking for emails to my email box? What's our email? Which one do you want to give out?
Let's go thedumbzone@gmail.com.
Oh, now that's just going to be overloaded.
She says no, the.
No, it's the dumb zone. How about this? Stop yelling while we're doing the show.
Oh, no.
Okay? It's thedumbzone@gmail.com. The dumb zone.
Email us, tweet us, do whatever.
Yeah.
And if you possibly have advice on what happens if you get pinned up by the feds for running an illegal book,
what if we
you could send that to the same address?
It's a donation. It's a charity.
We could throw a charity.
I like
thing.
that. Anything come to mind?
Can't you call us a charity? Like Here's what I hear.
I don't know. I never thought about
We're
that.
small business.
Here's what a charity is called.
People who are not doing well who need your money.
No. What else? What's a common term that you hear when somebody talks about a charity? 2 words. Yell it. Yell it.
Non-profit.
That's right.
So now she's confused.
It's a non. I know. Well, she didn't listen to me the first time because she yelled it out. Non-profit. And that's exactly what we are.
That's true.
We do not
very
make
true.
a profit.
We're just staying afloat.
No, we're barely hanging
Curious though, because we're paying taxes like profit.
on. I know.
But not making any of the profit.
What if we called ourselves a religion?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You know the other play we could make there? Lots of wives.
We could have, yes. How can we?
I think you can get.
If you're going to make your own religion, you have to be able to.
It feels like step 1.
Do a lot of sex.
Yeah. I'm going to need your wife and your wife.
I would rather have the religion with no wives. What if we did that one, where we don't have to do stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
just
it does kind of fit with our like general, like we both want no tea.
Yeah. We're gonna do that. Well, we're gonna work on that.
Okay.
Before we get into a little bit of basketball, well, wait. Should we be breaking at some point?
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. Darn it. All right.
The Dumb Zone.
Hey, all you dumb f***s. Willie Mays here for Dumb Zone Dental Dams. Are you tired of eating the same old thing with the same old taste when you're forced to go downtown? Are you a man or lesbian age 18 or older looking for a fun way to deliver what the rest of your body can't? Are you a girl with a fishy coos? Well, we've got you covered. Just in time for football season, introducing the all-new line of Dumb Zone Dental Dams. No more of that same old tuna can you're used to having to tongue mop. Now you can quote-unquote enjoy delivering high-intensity pleasure without the brain-stinging stench of 3-week-old Spencer McKenzie's seafood burritos. Available in watermelon, fajita, Captain Crunch, lemon pine, bleach, calzone, pepperoni, and for all you sushi lovers out there, unscented. Dumb Zone Dental Dams. She's gonna love it. You're gonna tolerate it. Dumb Zone Dental Dams.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Indeed. Hey, I talked to Raymond, the guy at E6 Sportswear this weekend, and he says up on, what's our website for merch? Anybody know?
We're going to let you.
Well, whatever the website is, they have a 1-year...
dumbzonemerch.com.
Oh, okay. You could go to dumbzone.com and then click the little merch button, right?
You could.
Anyway, he said they got a 1-year anniversary special where you can get a Dumb Zone t-shirt, a hat, and a hoodie. What do you think? What price would Raymond have happened upon for these 3 items?
Maybe
if I had to guess, it would be less than $70.
More than 50, though.
Are we close?
You're way closer. It is $69.
Yeah.
Because Raymond can't grow up. I'm trying to move past that.
Yeah.
But yeah, go to whatever the website is that we get the merch. And
do you think that our lean into this bit has increased the amount of 69ing that happens, at least like in Dallas?
Do you feel like
I know what you're about to say.
If somebody is 69ing, they kind of think of us too, in a way.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, but I hope so.
That sounds really dirty.
Yeah. So if you are, what were you thinking I was going to say?
Well, I just think it's. I think you pointed this out before. Yeah, it was going to be a great, hilarious line. It just seems like an act that, while awesome, is talked about way more than actually occurs. Do you know what I mean?
I absolutely know what you mean.
Like
I think
for the
it's
place
more
in
of
the
a
culture.
when you're younger. That's a thing you'll. I got to do that, and then we do it, and it's like, all right, but you're not. It's not a go-to move.
I mean,
no, I mean
it's not the pitching whip.
If she said, "Would you like to 69?" I would probably say no, thanks.
Do you feel like it's that formal when you're with your lady?
Hello, sir.
No.
Okay. It isn't just kind of like you end up there, or have you negotiated this?
Yeah, when I was young, I was like, yeah, let's 69. And then I came.
You said that?
In my head, yeah. Like, you grow up, all these jokes, like, finally, I can 69. And then I get there, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's check.
It's
fine.
You almost want to concentrate on one or the other, but when you have
Yeah,
both of them going on, it's like, I don't know if I'm probably not doing this well because I'm worried about.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
Like you know.
I know we built this whole thing around 69, but it's probably not that great.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too. Like when you, I don't do what Blake does and just straight up get asked or ask, but when you kind of like direct it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you
But-
got to commit.
But when you're soft pedaling, it's like, okay, how about I
What about the standing 69?
There's no way anybody's actually done that.
No?
People have asked, yeah. People do that.
I feel like I see that in drawings, like
Yeah.
sex book drawings, you know? But it's like, there's no way.
No,
I would definitely hurt my back if I tried that.
You got to page 47 of Pornhub. I'm sure you saw it.
I did not get to page 47.
Unless you had like a little Simone Biles type girl, you could lift. She's just tiny.
But then the anatomy's off.
It's
Yeah.
Would she reach all the way down there?
Yeah, that's tough.
You never go past page 3.
Okay.
If you end up at 4, you need help.
Interesting.
Think about that next time.
Hey, let's do a normal speed commercial read.
Okay.
Because when we were on the trip that we took to California, where would we have been without Factor meals?
Oh my gosh.
In fact, so Matt, our driver, preps all his meals on his own, which seems really cool. But then he ends up like with the same meal every day, every meal.
And he has to make it.
Yeah, then he has to make it and he has to go through it. He says he spends like 4 hours on a Sunday just making a ton of chicken and rice and whatever, and then just, doling them out. With Factor meals, they do all that for you, and then the variety as well is awesome. So you don't have to just eat the same meal, but you're always getting a nice, healthy meal. They have 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons you can choose from, so you'll always have new flavors to explore. So my wife left me this note because she ate one of my Factor meals.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Factor meal was crazy good. I had the pork chop, which is usually the easiest to make tough and terrible, because she's had pork chop like pre-made whatever before, but not from Factor meals. She goes, this tasted like a steakhouse pork chop. Like she's doing a commercial for me and left me this note.
Respect.
After eating the Factor meal.
And see,
okay.
This is what happens when he doesn't call home.
That's
For
right.
a week and a half, she has to leave little notes.
Like you're in the Civil War.
It's great.
Anyways, yes, factormeals.com/dumbzone50.
We'll say it's if you're trying to lose some weight, like I try to do every month, it seems like.
You are looking a little svelte, I got to tell you.
Meal prepping helps a ton.
Sure.
I've used Factor a lot even before they started advertising with us, and it's really, really good to plan ahead. And yeah.
I feel like you're crushing your wellness goals right now.
Factor helps, man.
Make your day delicious.
Totes.
From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with easy, nutritious options at factormeals.com. Call to action.
Factormeals.com/dumbzone50. Use code dumbzone50. You'll get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. And as I said before, I think I'm probably a customer for life. It's nice.
Regular speed spot.
Yeah.
Now basketball, Rob.
2, 3, 4.
Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Hey, basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
I don't think this is too interesting, but while we were gone,
what do you got?
The Mavs did announce their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They had their schedule release. Now, they don't do this in the NBA. Wouldn't that be a pretty tedious schedule release video?
So every video is 19 minutes long. Yeah.
They had Derek Lively do a couple things.
Did they?
Yeah.
I cut it off and highlighted a few things that were interesting to me. And you can look over the schedule as well and see if there's anything that stands out to you. What was interesting to me is they're not opening the season with Golden State, because the NBA usually looks at players, player movement and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, if they're not opening the season with Golden State, certainly that is going to be the Christmas Day game, Golden State. And it's neither of those.
No, it's the opening of the much ballyhooed NBA Cup.
Are they still doing that?
Oh, yeah, I guess that is. Yes, they have NBA Cup group play games, which doesn't make any sense because you play, the first one is Golden State, at Golden State, Tuesday, November 12th.
Correct.
Which will be a TNT game. But then they play like 3 other games, and then they have 2 more games that are called the Cup group play game.
It's really weird.
Whatever. The only thing that you have to know is that LeBron is the first-time winner of the NBA Cup.
And that propelled them to a long postseason run.
Well, he was kind of focused on that Olympics. And
he's got an answer for everything.
You got to know it. So, yeah, they play Golden State at Golden State in mid-November and then in February as well. They have Minnesota on Christmas Day. Kind of spare.
I mean,
the afternoon game.
It's kind of spare because you just think of the Timberwolves, but they're kind of hot right now.
Minnesota?
Yeah. I feel like they're kind of darlings. They've become darlings.
You got the governor, who I've never heard of before, but now everybody's heard of him.
Wait, tell me? Oh, from the playoffs?
No, the governor is running for vice president, isn't he?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Politics guy?
Yeah. I've never heard him like leaning into the Timberwolves bit though, so I guess I didn't really totally.
I'll bet you he had his he had equality on the back of his jersey during the pandemic,
or education reform.
He just seems like that kind of dude.
Get to open with Wemby again.
Did they do that last year?
Pretty sure. That's when Lively punked him a little bit.
Wemby at home. Couple bits. They do the. They only have they have 4 of these. I like the mini series.
The home, yeah.
Not the home and away, but
both.
Hey, I'm going to the Clippers. We're going to play 2 games this weekend.
Which is something that I think we thought was going to become like very commonplace post-pandemic.
It made sense. It seems to financially make sense.
Yeah.
You know, you will just kind of stay in one place. You don't have to. It'll reduce our carbon footprint.
And that's all we're really concerned about.
Yeah, they do it against the Clippers twice, once here, once there. And then they do it against home to Denver. We get a couple of those on a Sunday and a Tuesday in January. And then at San Antonio, oddly enough. I would think they would do it somewhere where you have to travel a little farther.
Sure.
But they don't. So, I guess everybody plays on MLK Day. Is that why they have an 11 a.m. game?
Everyone plays on MLK Day, and no one plays on Election Day.
Okay.
They have to get out the vote.
And I didn't know if, if we wanted to do a Dumb Zone, like, meet up, people have asked us from San Antonio or Houston.
I would love that.
So we do have a little week in March where they're playing San Antonio and Houston. And we could, follow the Mavs if we wanted to do something like that.
Let's go.
That'd be awesome.
So that's just a possibility. But the Mavs schedule has been released, and we will now ignore it until October, right?
October 24th, yes.
That's the
I wonder what
next
their odds are. Have you looked?
The Mavs odds on winning it all?
Yeah.
I have not looked, but I think they're in the top.
What would you say?
I would guess top 8.
6.
Okay.
Pretty solid.
You want
to
I was looking at Cowboys futures.
Okay.
Because I was talking to Chappie about futures.
First coach fired?
Okay. No, I didn't look at that. McCarthy, well, he's probably always going to be up there, right?
You're just the Cowboys coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. but I might have laid a little something down on.
You wet the beak a little bit on a Cowboys future?
It's August.
I know, but I got excited. What if I told you boys you can get
Baker MVP
plus 1,100 on the Cowboys winning their first 5 games of the season?
That's a really weird bet.
Look at the schedule.
Well,
Pull it up.
Are they going to beat Cleveland?
Well, that's the number one thing they have to do is beat Cleveland. They're absolutely beating Cleveland.
That's a pretty soft 5 right there.
There was only one tough one, I thought. What is it?
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's at home.
It is at home.
What do we got?
At Cleveland, hosting New Orleans, hosting the Ravens, at the Giants, and at Pittsburgh. Then you run into
that's a 3-2 stretch there.
But if they're 5-0,
you will
your
get
buddy over here,
$1,100.
That's if I bet only 100.
I'm placing this wager today.
You like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
Send me the site.
Well, you don't want him to take your bet.
Why?
We're friends.
Yeah, we should all profit.
Is he not a good bettor?
A rising tide lifts all something.
Boats?
I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're not starting 5-0.
I think
that's all we need.
Almost guaranteed.
They're not beating Cleveland.
Okay.
What do you want to put on it right now?
Yeah. Big shot.
Bus ride across the nation. Whoever, you have to drive my daughter home from college.
If the Cowboys go 17-0, I'll do that. Not 5-0.
Boy, can you imagine how confused she'll be?
Why is Blake here?
Hey,
yeah.
I'm supposed to drive you back home.
The Cowboys made a very improbable run to the Super Bowl. And
72 Dolphins, you wouldn't get it.
You guys ready for the news?
Let's do it.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
Dan, do you know what big chicken is?
They're probably forcing us to eat chicken. Is it like Big Tobacco?
You would think, but it's actually Shaquille O'Neal's chicken restaurant, which will be opening in Fort Worth in 2 weeks.
Do you think has a big hand in it?
You know what? He actually does seem pretty, hands-on, right? I have no idea how he ended up making this his home, but he's always here.
It's one of his homes, yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, but I think he spends a lot of time here.
Wonder why.
2 or 3 houses here, probably state income tax.
Maybe. Remember the guys at Grapevine Ford sent me a photo.
Yeah.
Because he was there.
Just bought a van for a family or something, right?
Yeah, it was some family that was down on their luck, and he's like, yeah, I'll just buy him a vehicle. He walked in there and paid cash. That's probably sweet.
Cash for the car? That is very sweet.
Just to be able to walk in and...
Yeah.
I'd like to do a good deed for today. What I'll do is tip an extra $1.
Do you really feel good about yourself?
Yeah, and then the rest of the day, I'm like, I'm a good person.
Yep.
But then you start thinking about what you could have done with that $1.
Yeah, and then I think, man, should I
Doge.
have... That service wasn't even that good.
Mm-mm.
I'm rewarding bad behavior.
Yeah.
In honor of Shaq's Lakers jersey number, the first 34 customers will receive complimentary food and drinks for an entire year at Big Chicken.
Did you say where this is going to be?
This one's in Fort Worth.
So
Heritage Trace area.
Okay, what's the deal again?
The first 34 customers that day will receive complimentary food and drinks at Big Chicken for the entire year. There are not specifics about how much you get.
Because I wonder if it's once a week.
Yeah, I remember when you were a kid finding out about an offer or promotion like that. You're like, okay, well, I'll just go to Whataburger every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And then you find out that the fine print is you get a single no cheese burger.
So
pull that picture up again, please.
I slept outside of a Buffalo Wild Wings because one was opening up kind of near Firewheel because they said they promised free wings for a year. And I was 18, had nothing to do, set up a tent, did the whole thing.
What were you in line?
20-something.
Okay.
and had a buddy do it with me. Stayed up all night. So excited to get these free wings for a year. And they gave you a little pamphlet thing, and you got 6 wings a week. And they had 52 little things that you just tear off. Here are my 6 wings.
That's just a snack.
Yeah, I didn't even use it. I was so upset.
My kid did something similar to that at college. Like at Clemson, they did the same thing. They had to be there, so they waited in line. And yes, every week. But she goes every week, gets her 6 wings, and I'm like, well, do you then buy, fries and a drink or something? Nope. And she calls ahead and has it ready, and then she just goes and picks it up every week. Like, she's so mad that she didn't.
That's actually pretty awesome.
So she actually gets her wings.
Yeah.
But she won't give them 1 extra penny because they did that to her.
Okay, respect. I'll drive her home.
So that picture that we had thrown up is looks like the most unhealthy thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's not the one that I was looking at. They have one with mac and cheese on it.
So this has fries on the chicken sandwich and bacon.
Maybe some onion rings.
Yeah, the one thing.
And onion rings.
Yeah, mac and cheese and fried onion strings. There we go, the middle one.
Dude, I gotta be honest.
You think that looks great?
It
does.
That looks fantastic to me.
I can't even imagine. Oh, do you guys like my new hat?
The waffle fry. You get a Spencer's hat?
Yeah.
Love it.
I invested in the Spencer McKenzie's hat. I was thinking of that just because Blake ordered the seafood burrito in a way I've never seen ordered before. It's called the business burrito.
It's on the menu.
And instead of rice, which humans will eat, Blake has fries. So instead of rice, he's like, you know what? This thing is just too healthy. And you were just saying how you're trying to eat healthier with factor meals.
It's Spencer McKenzie's.
You live a little.
Yeah, I'm on vacation. Okay?
But it's already got the sauce.
No, but hold on. So
and the thing is 2 pounds.
And it's got shrimp in it. You're right. I do replace the rice with French fries. But instead of that silly coleslaw, how about steak?
He gets a steak and shrimp burrito with fries in it.
So it's got steak, shrimp, and cheese fries, really.
And the sauce.
The cheese fries.
And then Brooklyn style. Let's spice it up a little bit. I had a great time in California.
I can tell. Well, school is back, as I talked about with the drop-off lines this morning. Texas schools are seeing like a massive truancy problem, which probably is related to socioeconomic factors. Like if you don't have anybody to take you to school or nobody making sure that you go to school. When you were a kid, were you afraid that you could get arrested for not going to school?
Oh, yeah. I thought cops were out and looking for kids.
Bro, truancy.
The truant officer.
In the neighborhood.
I always kind of heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's 100% like your dad's friend who had to register his arms as lethal weapons. I don't know anybody who ever got in trouble for it. But it was always like a thing of, dude, if you don't have a note, they can arrest you and your parents. Which is just...
And your parents.
And your parents, yeah. Yeah, we've seen higher rates of chronic absenteeism. This kind of all started during COVID.
Many things did.
Many things did. That sucks for your kids too, man. I remember being really bummed about that. Like they just kind of had like a lost year of school. I cannot at this point imagine having had those kids in the house trying to do school during COVID.
It was 2 bad years. Because, yeah, it was my kid's senior year of high school.
And freshman year
so
of college,
she missed out on a lot of that. And then, yeah, it went into freshman year where they still had, like, some protocols that, upon further review were probably a little too much.
Yeah. But can you imagine whenever they were, like, my kids' age, having them in the house with your wife trying to work and put them through school?
That's why I've always thought about, like, how do people homeschool? Like, my wife couldn't have... I mean, I couldn't have handled it. But certainly my wife couldn't have.
I assume it's just you're not working. But even then...
Even then.
Yeah, that's wild.
There's a bad bit. And then you're out of toilet paper.
I told you.
Got to use your shirt.
No traffic, though?
No traffic was sweet.
Blake was pretty fired up about the no traffic.
I got downtown in 20 minutes.
Did you guys watch any of the DNC?
What do you think?
I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring this up is I woke up this morning.
If Snoop's not there, I'm not watching it.
D-O-double-G is in the house.
I would not rule that out.
Snoop has got his feet up. How much did he make during the Olympics?
Well, $500,000 a day.
500 a day.
For, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, doggy dog world.
We won't see him for a while.
No, you will.
On what? Something else?
Pick something, and he'll be there.
The Voice.
It's to tie these things together. It's Snoop and Shaq. They dominate our culture commercially. One of the greatest tweets of all time was when Trill Withers posted, "I'm pretty sure Shaq would do a commercial for genocide if the check was on time." Like, why is he advertising the general insurance? Like, that's not that big of a product or a company.
How much money must he have, man?
That makes no sense. Anyways, the reason I wanted to bring up the DNC was I saw this morning that one of my favorite artists, Jason Isbell, was trending.
Okay.
And he played the DNC. And it's always funny to me. I remember this happening with Rand Paul and Rage Against the Machine. It's always funny to me whenever there are people who have listened to an artist for years and years and years and years. Hours and hours and hours and hours. And then they're like, this guy's a lib? And people are like mad that he played it. It's like, are you hearing the same lyrics that we're all hearing? Like, I didn't get mad when Kid Rock turned into the guy who plays at the Republican National Convention. I knew that was in the cards. Do you know what I mean?
So what is this? Mad online, you're saying?
Yeah.
People are trending? It's trending? Okay.
That it's like, because he's kind of country, you know? So he possibly has like a center-right leaning audience. He looks like that. He's from Tennessee.
That's him playing at the DNC right there?
But people were really fired up about this, and it's just weird to me that
I thought
like Snoop Dogg smokes weed?
Just about all musicians are dirty libs, right? Because they're all always suing Trump for using his song at his rally or something.
Well, there's Kid Rock.
Yeah, unless you can find, I just assume all them Hollywood elites.
Yeah, it's just, I guess because he's country, people were duped.
I want to trend.
You did once.
Remember when he trended?
Yeah. We did trend,
How'd the check?
I'm still waiting for the trending check. But it was kind of cool.
And our last one here, this is a story from Friday. This happened in Corsicana. An assistant principal was attacked so severely inside a classroom at a high school that she had to be airlifted to a medical facility in Dallas.
Okay.
That's terrible.
I don't think I'd take the gig anymore.
Teacher?
There was a time where I wanted to maybe do it. I had a girlfriend who did, what's the thing, like Teach for America or something? Is that what it's called? And they'll like give you some money to pay off your student loans, and they put you in like a low-income school.
Oh, I never heard of that.
And I thought it seemed cool. But I think like TikTok scared me out of it. Like kids attacking teachers. I just don't really feel like that was happening as much when I was a child.
Or did you just not hear about it?
Yeah, it probably was in those same areas.
You think?
Yeah.
I feel like the phone encourages bad behavior.
See, now
Because
you
you're
sound
doing it-
old.
I know.
But that's like saying the phone encourages police brutality or something. It's like, no, you can now just kind of record things quicker. Like police brutality, you think that increased?
No, I think that's always been the case. In fact, it probably decreased.
Do you think trans was invented 7 years ago? Or, you know what I mean? Like people feel more comfortable coming out now, and
I guess I'm just
saying
speaking
who they
like
are.
when I was a kid and we had the camcorder, it made me want to do more wild stuff.
Interesting.
Like, hey, I can go back and watch that.
Certainly, being able to be famous.
Yeah.
makes you want to do more because you might not have done that if there were just camcorders, but Jackass didn't exist.
Right.
But same thing with, now that there's TikTok, or was it you or somebody was recently telling me if you look at like top 10 professions that kids say they want in.
Yes.
Like it used to be like fireman and baseball player or
Army
whatever.
man. Now it's just streamer.
Yeah, now it's like TikTok creator, whatever, streamer, YouTube, whatever. Like that's.
I mean, I played
So
you
much-
that Nora audio.
Yeah.
Every single time she sees a phone and knows it's recording, she signs off. She has a close and open, all of it. Like to her, that's just entertainment. That's being a movie star.
Like your grandpa thought like there weren't as many gay people back in the day, right? Now there's more. After he sees that commercial of dudes kissing.
I don't know if he had an opinion on the amount of people.
He just didn't want to see it.
I think, it was really hanging his hat on that he had never seen two gay guys kiss each other.
And thought,
and he just
at like 80, I'm probably good to go to the grave
I'm in
on
the
this
clear.
one. Yeah.
But then he saw the commercial.
No one will ever swift boat me with a.
I'll never forget. He just looked at me and said, "I wish I could have gone my whole life without seeing that."
Gay!
I had to laugh.
I wish I could have been there for that moment.
It was special.
All right. Anyways, there's your news.
How was your grandpa?
The Dumb
He alive?
Zone.
Well, mine all died during COVID.
Like and subscribe.
Now I feel like I can't tell you about mine because Jake came in and trumped mine because his is dead, mine's not.
That's awesome. Let's quickly do another regular.
Oh, Dan!
Look out.
Now, that did not happen to us on our road trip. But if it did, what would we have done, guys?
The first thing I would have done was check on you, and then I would have called 214-817 and then just keep hitting the 3.
That's right. That's because that's their phone number for Frankel and Frankel. They're awesome. They are chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. They are personal injury lawyers. They're based right here in Dallas, and what you should do after checking on me, if you get in a wreck, call them immediately. Insurance companies try to take advantage of you. Frankel will fight for your rights. When you give them a call, Jake, who will you talk to?
Probably like a low-level, like part-timer.
I thought you were looking at the copy, so you'd know that you'll talk to a partner.
Oh, wow.
Mark or Scott Frankel or Gene Burkett, you'll be on the line with them. You're talking to somebody who can make things happen immediately. They have the experience and knowledge to win in the courtroom, work tirelessly to maximize your outcome, and they used to work for the insurance companies.
They know the tricks.
Yeah, so they could use that experience to advocate on your behalf. Like Belichick becoming an offensive genius because he knew so much about defense.
That's a great analogy.
Who's the one with the cool shoes?
Gene Burkett.
Okay.
But I don't want to rule out the Frankels themselves having cool shoes also. I've just never actually personally.
You've personally seen Gene Burkett's feet.
That's true, yeah.
Real tall guy, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but everybody seems like that to you.
That's
Anyway, Frankel and Frankel.
That felt
They're great.
necessary.
214-817-333-333. Just keep going 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't lose there. Let me do some quick viewer mail, which is these are all birthdays, okay?
Okay.
I told you like we were going to save it till the end, and that's kind of where we're at now.
Yep.
But we were gone for so long. I have quite a few birthdays. I'll save my my moosing viewer mails.
Thanks.
There's more than one?
There's more than one. Just a little tease for tomorrow. So a lot of these rolled in last week, whatnot. Dan and Jake, please give birthday shout out to my husband Jason for his birthday, August 19th. It is, as you'd say, his Kurt Schilling birthday. He's the best dad to our son Max and new baby girl Annie. And we love him so much. This is from Kelly. I'm thinking Kelly, though, she's only judging him probably against her own dad. And if she's calling him the best dad,
sure,
I'm probably a better dad than this guy, Jason.
I mean, I could be.
That's doubtful, but I definitely am.
I mean, you were on the cover of a dad magazine. That's true. I've not done that.
Not yet. But anyway, Jason, you might get on a cover of a magazine someday.
I still can't
Probably
believe
not, though.
that they printed the quote where you said, "I really love my kids, just not yours."
I don't love other kids. I don't.
It's like a parenting magazine, like a community magazine. They actually ran that quote. You were honest.
Dan, day 10 listener, because I didn't know what Patreon was before you guys. Friday is my birthday. We all know I won't be woken up in that special way. Maybe a late night moosing if I liquor her up.
Ugh.
More drunk Dan, more Soroy. This is from Ben Twiss, the vodka guy.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
You know Ben?
I do.
We do need more drunk Dan. That was fun.
That's right. He hooked us up with some Tito's for the Super Bowl. He says, P.S. Business Talk, working on some stuff with my marketing team with you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Talking about an iron in the fire?
I want to have a marketing team. I think it's like Rob is the marketing team.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
T.O. Hotmail. Sending this from the far superior Hotmail platform to insurance delivery. Friday, the birthday of good DF Patrick Payne. It's his Jerome Bettis birthday. His leaders are the A's road play-by-play announcer, Jake abruptly ending the news, and Blake's Tinder dating tips. Also, more Danny Bayless from Chris the candy salesman.
Oh, yeah.
What a guy.
I need another care package.
Dude.
He said he is from the surprisingly nice North Richland Hills 690 remote.
Yeah, that was the drone delivery day.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
One bottle of water
And
delivered.
you laid out by the pool.
I do not buy
I took
sweets
my shirt off.
like ever, but I saw some of those Reese's
animal crackers.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
At the airport, had to do it. Had to do it to him.
This is Matt with 1T sending a birthday shout out to Oklahoma DZD1 Josh Stanley. It is his Dat Wen minus Marion Barber the third birthday. His leaders are Super Spreader Jake and Dan's environmentally friendly chainsaw.
Interestingly enough, the Earth decided to minus Marion Barber III too.
It was my pleasure to grease the crease with a $20 Venmo in his name. Happy birthday, Josh, from Matt B. Matt with 1T.
As long as I get one out of the couch, it pretty much works for me.
Jeff Kunzel says, happy 103rd birthday to my dad, Walter.
Whoa.
His leaders are Heart Attack Man, Blake Jones, more Julie, and he'd like a joke from Heart Attack Man or Dutch.
Dutch died.
103 years old. I think that's sweet.
I don't know, man.
I want to be 100, man.
Do you?
Write that down.
It's already on the list.
You already know?
You've said it a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it just all comes down to quality of life, right?
How come people in Europe live longer, yet they eat fattier foods? That's what I've been reading about lately.
Not just Europe, pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
I thought we were like so overregulated. How do we allow all this other crap to get in our foods?
That would be a ruse.
That we're overregulated? We're not overregulated?
No.
Okay.
Relative to the rest of the world, no. No.
Damn it.
You don't see a lot of fat Japanese people either.
That's because you said they don't eat cheese.
They don't.
What about the sumo wrestler?
That's a very specific design.
It's Japanese, right? I just didn't want to. All right. Dirty Dan, I'd like to give myself a shout out. My 44th birthday, no jersey numbers.
Thank you.
You, Blake, and Jake are my heroes. More Danny. Less theme song girl on the football live streams.
Theme song girl.
No puppet.
Sorry, Caitlin.
Look, if you're going to be involved with us, you're going to take a stray now and again.
First Chappie.
On a side note, I'm a TCU alum. We have a fantastic tailgating scene. We'd like to have you guys out on a Friday before a home game, possibly the next day. How should I go about setting this up? From Bart Barr. Email
Blake already looks so beat.
thedumbzone@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I think all of our Fridays are booked for the rest of the year, but
really?
Let me hear your first offer.
We can be bought. Dear Moose Lord, it is my Emmett Smith plus Ed Belfour birthday. Come on, Jake. That's easy. Day 1, number 89. Legit, not bought. Y'all killed it on the DV, RZ, RT to the DC, TC.
No.
I once stood next to Jake at the restroom at an off-the-record IJB live taping event.
What a distinction.
Just stood next to him?
It's the closest to a Major League arm I've ever been.
Okay.
He says, if you ever need an expert in local city government, public works, water department stuff, let me know.
Give him a call.
No thanks.
I like this new bit.
Yeah.
That's from Glenn. His name is Glenn. Dear Uncle Beaverburger, please wish a happy alive Walter Payton birthday to good DF Brian, the buffoon balloon. He's the guy who emailed you about Grover Cleveland marrying his friend's baby or whatever. That's from Nick.
It did happen. He met her whenever she was literally in the nursery.
Okay, they didn't get married then.
No.
They waited.
There were some legal issues.
30 years or 20 or legally.
And the weird part about it was he was really good friends with their parents and like took care of her like her whole childhood as a old chap that would come over to see his buddy.
You think that makes it extra creepy?
I think it's
like it's bad enough Tiger
so
Woods
bad.
knew the girl next door when she was 14.
Yeah. Like he was
this guy
like
knew her,
bringing her lollies.
Literally held her when she was an infant.
Yeah. And then became president.
And then got married to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wouldn't you risk it all for that?
Yeah.
You know, I don't. The time.
Don't era adjust me.
I think era adjusted, yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Dear Senor Gash Guzzler, today is is DF Brian's Devin Harris birthday.
34?
Oh, wait. Is this the same guy? Oh, it says here he's known for his book report on Grover Cleveland. Okay. That's from Billy. Bracket Daniel, my wife. Oh, Amanda Sadler. Happy birthday. It was August 18th. She's 45, getting hotter by the year.
There's no way that's true.
Prove it.
I thought, though, for a while, didn't we say
that's the
older
tipping point, though?
You think 45 is where it ends?
Yeah.
Like, because I thought 45-year-old Hillary was hotter than, like, 30-year-old Hillary when we looked at the 70s Hillary. But that could also be the era she was playing in the 70s, you know.
Yeah.
70 liberals are all hairy and
weird glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know they'd do anything.
Do I?
You're her weak coffee leader, so tell her it's not weird to leave a package on your driveway with just one banana. So the day before we left for the trip, there's a package on my driveway, not delivered to the mailbox, no stamps, but it's just a box. And in it was this toy RV and one banana. Because Amanda knows I like to just go buy one banana.
It's really weird, dude. But pretty cool, I guess.
Justin, this is husband Justin. More Blake, we're looking forward to the Ranger game, but she probably won't say hi because you're not supposed to meet your heroes.
Well, not after Jake called her ugly.
Well, he just said she's 45 and that's where it all ends. So maybe she's at her peak now.
Yeah. 45's perfect. But the idea of getting hotter every year after that, It's not happening.
Father Dan, DF number 4 here again. To wish number 6, Jared Allard, happy square root of 900 birthday. Back during your holdout, we would dutifully tune in at noon to see if Mark Rubier would welcome us to the airwaves, so we were well positioned to blindly subscribe when the time came. Jared's leaders are the Stephen Vaught-led Guardians and Miles Garrett's Temper. That's Austin Break Bill.
It's a lot.
We got a lot. I told you that's
It's a
why I'm
lot.
saving it till the end. If you didn't want to sit through this, or maybe you just want to sit through it to hear what people say, like, Dear Uncle Meat Curtains, it is my friend Jizzle Jay's birthday. He has been moosing my aunt for a while now. His leaders are Dan, Julie, and Heart Attack Man. He's never had his birthday read by you before, so I know he'll love this from Alex McKenzie.
What a day.
It is me and my son Donovan's birthday.
Would that suck?
No, because it kind of takes it away from you. Like, you don't want it to be
your birthday.
When you're older, I just don't think you want to be celebrating your birthday.
Right.
Well, until later.
Later that night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need a party.
Right. You don't need Lordy, look who's 40 out in your front yard.
I really would I would hate that. Just like you did.
Let's see.
We have to do it to his house.
Blake?
Yeah.
We won't be friends when I'm 40.
Hey.
Hey, I think we should take that as a win because he's implying we're friends now.
That's true. That's very true.
I don't know if you can tell this story here, but I swam in your pool a few years ago with Killer. This is a guy named Dirk.
Oh, yeah.
You remember we had Killer, our engineer at the ticket, to
Dirk.
learn. He's an adult who didn't know how to swim, so he was going to. Dirk was a swim teacher.
That's right.
He taught Donovan as well. Great dude.
He said, I was hoping to bring awareness to drowning prevention and reduce the stigma of adults learning to swim. Killer showed up an hour late to his lesson at your place. He came wearing Paw Patrol arm floaties and said, this is going to be so funny. By the time Jake interviewed me, I was so shook up I could only respond with yes and no answers. I missed my chance to talk about drowning prevention. My leaders are the sniff laugh after adios mofo and the sad parents watching Liz Brunig be best friends with their child's killers on death row. So happy birthday to Dirk and his son. His son's name is Donovan.
Okay. It's a weird email, man.
There was a lot there.
Finish.
And dear Fuhrer of the Fur Burger, it is my 50th birthday today. Of course, I was not woken up in that special way because I'm married and she's a bitch.
Oh.
Tell Blake I'm working on a saucy romance novel written by a married man. It'll be 1 page long with over 300 pages of references. My leaders are Soroy and Brad Sham's keen fashion sense from Jason Robbins.
No comment.
So much.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
That's why I was saving all those till later. Because it was just a lot.
You're good, man.
I know you're yelling at me in your head. This is what it's like, guys. Working with this guy. He's always on edge. Of course, we have Justin Mooring and his friends here. The double W's.
Double W's.
That's right.
How has your experience been thus far?
It's great.
Good.
Yeah, the casting couch is pretty cozy here with these boys.
Still wondering what's in this Eatsy box.
Oh, yeah. Let's present the Eatsies box. I'm sorry. Speaking of birthdays, that's for Jake's birthday. Because we missed Jake's birthday on the trip. So, Adam Romo, go ahead. Pick it up.
Okay.
Get up there. Make Justin do something. How about get off the couch? Jesus. No, him. He's trying to lean as far as he can. Like, you can't be that exhausted. Yeah, Adam Romo delivered a cake, an Eatsy's cake. Actually, there's some cookies and chips for you guys and stuff if you want. What's the cake say?
It doesn't say anything.
Oh, it's just a. What kind of a cake is it?
Oh my God, bro!
What kind is it?
It's a massive cheesecake.
Wow.
Is that your thing?
He knows you.
All right.
We lost Jake.
Jake doesn't generally like sweets, but I guess he likes cheesecake. So it's made of cheese?
Yeah. No, it's just queso.
It's like Munster?
Yeah.
You ever have
Stylized as a
Munster?
cake. Have I ever had Munster?
Cheese?
Yeah, it's a fairly common.
Fantastic.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I'm sorry. I forgot you're a cheese guy, though.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Eatsy's. You'll be able to find that cheese. Remember you're complaining about the grocery store? You can't find the cheese section?
Yep.
And then they tweeted you?
That did happen.
So thanks. Thanks to
awesome.
Eatsy's.
Thank you so much
for hooking up Jake on his birthday. Now, it would have been cool if Adam Romo was here, like, wearing some kind of a costume.
Right.
Like a big block of cheese costume.
Dressed as an astronaut or something.
I talked to him the other day, and he said that because Matt was being such a D-bag about leaving early. I'm just having fun. So he said he was going to show up. He wanted to show up to see us off, but he didn't want to show up that early on a Sunday. Like he was going to be
I would have
wearing.
thought of him as like very early riser guy. We left at 7.
Yeah. Sunday though.
Grind never sleeps.
Maybe that's his doing it day.
Doing a day?
I don't know.
You make a whole day out of it?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I'm back.
Because you have to start with one early in the morning and then do it again later.
Of course.
Because you got to recharge. It's like the EV. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all familiar with like the concept of charging something.
Oh,
You didn't have to like.
But when you're young, you get the supercharger, fast charger, whatever. Now it's just like slowly upticking.
Oh my gosh! Now it's you plug it in, it's all night, and it's still only at 50%. All right.
But if another car would have come around, maybe you'd. Maybe you could recharge.
It's just this cable.
Yeah.
All right, so today in history, August 20th, on this day in 1884, the first boxing match was fought with gloves. Or as we call it, the first pussy boxing match. Jack Dempsey won in 22 rounds. Okay, on this day in 1938. So there was a committee, like Cleveland has long had a inferiority complex. So back in 1938, they had something called the Come to Cleveland Committee. They're trying to tell people how great Cleveland is. You should come move here.
Sure.
So they had an event, and about 10,000 people showed up on a Saturday morning to watch 5 members of the Indians attempt to set a record catching a baseball thrown from the top of the Terminal Tower, which at one point I believe was the second highest building in the United States, only to the Empire State Building, 708 feet tall. The third-string catcher, Henry Health, caught a ball dropped from there, what was estimated to be traveling at the speed of 138 miles per hour. That broke the Major League record for a vertical catch established when in 1908, the Washington Senators catcher dropped that dropped 555 feet from the Washington Monument. So the point is, back in the 30s, they were
you're
remember, this is the flagpole sitting era.
Okay, so you're on this Cleveland tourism committee, and you're like, look, I feel like industry's dying a little bit here. What can we do? What if we drop a ball from really high?
You're in a brainstorming meeting.
Like, how many ideas got discarded?
What if we do the flagpole stick?
What if we get the
Everybody does that.
What if we get the bullpen catcher to simply catch a ball from really high?
So the manager is like, absolutely not. But yeah, the third string bullpen catcher, we'll let you have him.
Again, it's so Cleveland.
Is this one of the first instances of Dude Perfect?
He might be a Dude Perfect.
Say Dude Perfect.
Did you ever finish watching the documentary? The 30 for 30? I watched like half of it, and then I
think I was at about half,
I
yeah.
gotta write that down. I got to get back to like all these things I was going to do. Like, did you do half the stuff you wanted to do on the trip?
Half? A third?
Did you ever lift those kettlebells?
Oh, yeah. Remember, he was bitching about it.
You were slamming them on the concrete.
Okay.
Well, I was clanging weight, bro.
Well, I know I had to lift them to put them in my garage, where they still sit.
Oh, was that tough for you? Little 25-pounders?
Hey, you add those together, dude. That's 50.
And we were just fresh back into the humidity. We were miserable unloading that RV.
That sucks.
Did your plane have AC? That's cool.
Hey, is there any chance anything was lying on that bed that was like a crayon or a purple something?
What?
This is a really just off-topic thing. But I did whites that night.
Do you have like a stain pen or something?
Well, I don't think so. But so the only whites I did were like my T-shirts and socks and everything. And then there was like a sheet that was on the bed in the RV, which we never really got to lay on because it was covered with equipment.
Right.
But my wife had put a sheet on there before we left. And so I figured I'll wash that, and I washed this. And then I also she had like 2 pairs of brand new white pants that she bought for her new job. And I threw it all in the washing machine and washed it. And then I go to take it out for the dryer, and everything looks like it's tie-dyed purple.
That's not good.
And like there was like it seemed to be like
paper.
A crayon. There was paper, and then these little and everything was purple.
How'd she handle that?
Not well. Because she's blaming it on me, as if somehow I had a purple crayon.
Well, somebody did.
And I'm the one. So because I'm the good guy starting the laundry, I ended up being the bad guy because I ruined her brand new pants. I'll ruin her pants. Here's something from my childhood. On this day in 1986, postal employee Patrick Sherrill went on a deadly shooting spree at a post office in Edmond, Oklahoma. He shot 14 fellow workers and then killed himself. This was like a thing back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like working at the post office is so you'll go postal.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, we don't do it anymore.
Just the term.
Huh?
That made it to my generation, just the term.
But, like, I feel like this happened
multiple times.
More than one time.
Could also be like a Mandela effect thing.
Like it didn't really happen that often?
Yeah.
It's
also,
like,
that job doesn't seem that bad to me. We've talked about this before. I think it'd be fun.
working in the post office, is
Working
that different
in the
than
post
being a
office,
mailman?
that would suck. Yes.
Yeah.
But just being like a mail carrier, I think would be cool. You're on the move. Yeah, you get your steps in, Dan.
On this day in 1989, entertainment executive Jose Menendez and his wife Kitty were shot to death in their Beverly Hills mansion by their sons Lyle and Eric. Aren't they like on somebody's trading card?
Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Courtside at MSG.
On this day in 2008, a Spanish jetliner crashed during takeoff from Madrid. 154 people survived. 154 people died. 18 survived.
Okay. I think that violates our thing, right? It has to be one
That's
for every.
too many?
Yeah. We need 3 more bodies.
But they feasted.
Why?
Right. They were on the end of the runway.
Yeah, it was like craft services and...
Oh, I only bring this up because the NFL is so different than baseball. On this day in 2013, the NFL suspended Von Miller for 6 games for violating the league's substance abuse policy. And it's like, it's all right.
Oh, you mean just like as far as tainting your legacy?
Yeah, like baseball? You did steroids?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, even think about like the guys in the last year or two in the NFL who have been popped for gambling. But the greatest or second greatest hitter of all time, it's like, no.
Right.
Never in the Hall. Blackballed.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley just signed a big deal.
Yeah.
But these guys are, if you didn't do steroids, you probably weren't really trying. And on this day in 2019, President Donald Trump abruptly canceled a trip to Denmark, which owns Greenland.
Dude, this was so great.
After the Danish Prime Minister dismissed the idea of the U.S. purchasing Greenland, which is mostly frozen.
Just the fact that he was like, why can't we buy it?
And then the Prime Minister's like, well, no. And
It's
then
ours.
Trump's like, all right, well, I'm not going to visit then.
That's a big deal.
It's so great.
Couple famous weddings on this date. Kim Kardashian married Chris Humphries in 2011. This guy's like, what? Really? And then...
But she wasn't like today's Kim, though, you know? And you also might not recall, he got a massive contract at one point.
Did he?
To suck.
And then I've never heard of this guy. Maximilian Schell was an actor. 82 years old. And on this day, he married opera singer Eva Mahanovich. She was 35. Pretty sweet.
Okay, I don't really know how to describe this. He looks dead.
Yeah.
Fish eyes.
Yeah.
But that's got to be where you're not really basing anything on looks at that point. Like if you're 82 years old, like if you're like, if I can land a 35-year-old, yes. I think.
Yeah, but whenever we see these stories, they're not marrying Groots.
Yeah, they're always marrying somebody that's good looking.
Yeah.
Birthdays today. Oh.
It's not Groot, by the way.
Dang, look at that guy.
Isn't it Groot?
Well, Groot is a cute root.
Okay.
He's on something.
He definitely looks like he's on something.
Root is somebody who's, not attractive.
I know, but he said Groot.
I don't know what a Groot is, but Groot came from California, actually. There was a...
Probably about day 5.
There was kind of a little homely-looking girl, but she was kind of cute.
Oh, in Flagstaff?
No. It was many years ago at a training camp.
Oh.
This girl who would serve me coffee every morning was a Groot. Well, yeah, she got better looking every day.
Cute Root.
I was thinking, well, maybe I should tell you this later, but it was on my drive. It was on the drive home when we had been away from ladies for quite some time, and I was trying to decipher a scenario because I saw like a picture of Angel Reese, and I thought she's hot, and then I thought, what timeline exists? Is there a timeline that exists where Angel Reese and I are like a romantic item?
Absolutely not.
Nowhere? There's no possibility.
Okay, let's work through it.
20 years from now.
Traded to the Wings. Okay,
Oh.
She's playing locally. We strike a partnership with the Wings somehow where we cover the Wings.
I'd love to do that.
intensely.
First
You
of
sit
all,
down with an
the
interview
biggest
with
problem
Angel.
for you,
You two
am I still like alive in this scenario? Because clearly if she's interested, it's going to be me. So that's like roadblock number 1.
Yeah, but you like love your wife and have a family. I'm
You said-
beyond that.
You said 20 years from now.
I'm so Oh, okay.
And then he comes into work the next day. That bitch, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I hate her.
Giving her an unfair whistle.
I don't know, man. We just might hit it off.
No. I know. It's not happening.
It's just
Ever. Nope.
It's all about
Nope.
personality.
Mm-mm.
33 years old today, Yerky Yoki Paka.
Wow, Dan. What time is it?
So yes, we were once at a. So is this in New York?
Yeah, this was at This was at Madison Square Garden.
The same day as the guy. Weren't y'all gonna fight somebody?
That might have been a different one.
No.
That was the same one?
Same one.
Dang. What a day.
Yes, we were doing, I was doing overly enthusiastic road fan. So we were at a Stars game, and we're just yelling for everything that would happen on the ice, even for like the fourth line.
It's Yoki Pocket time! Yoki Pocket, Come on, Yerky! It's beef Yerky time! That's it, Trevor. Get it in there.
Oh, boy. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Jailbreak. Jailbreak.
Oh, you ain't getting it past garbage.
Ryan
Because we all know that guy, right? You've been at a game where it's overly enthusiastic road fan.
Yeah.
Like he's screaming about everything.
And I think we were wearing jerseys. Didn't we? Hadn't we changed out of the suits?
I think we did have like my Big Mac Stars jersey.
Yeah, like the personalized Stars jersey. And then sometime around the third period, there were a couple gentlemen who were not thrilled about it at all.
Was that around the same trip that we went to Buffalo, right?
Yeah. The Nema trip?
We met Nema, and we were talking the other day about the bit where we went in a cab and we were with Stars personnel.
Like buttoned up, good dudes.
Like, yes, front office type guys and whatever. And we did the bit, me, did the old, do you know where we can get, well, I have a piece of audio from that. Like, we're with these guys.
He's going to dinner.
Hey, so, you're yelling. Where's a guy go to get some around here? But I have the unedited. Hey, so, you're yelling. Where's a guy go to get some pussy around here?
Buffalo? Outside of Buffalo? Different city?
He said different city.
He had an answer.
Outside of Buffalo?
Toronto?
How about Cleveland?
I don't know, man.
He's like, I don't know about that. Let's not go crazy.
Just like these guys in suits.
Yeah, the out of nowhere, where's a guy go to get some pussy around here with guys who aren't expecting it is.
Oh, my God.
It was really more for them than it was for that guy, but that guy didn't blink.
No, he didn't.
People ask this all the time. Quinn Buckner is 71. Mavs coach? Is he a Mavs coach?
I think he was an assistant, maybe, right? No, let's look.
Former Cowboy Oronde Gadsden, whatever. He's 53.
Yeah, 1 year.
Don King is 93.
I was so confused by him as a kid. Like, I just didn't get it. Like, okay, what does he do? You know what I mean?
He loves America. And he makes money off of Tyson. Mitchell Trubisky is 30.
Tunnels.
Like, Tunnel's so dope.
Where's he?
Isn't it Pittsburgh still?
He's number
Buffalo?
3? Third?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He is Buffalo.
Loves kissing titties.
Todd Helton is 51. Hall of Famer.
Is he?
I think so. He is not today's War Games winner, however. That would be a guy named Greg Nettles. You ever hear of him?
Nope.
67.9 WAR. Todd Helton, 61.8. Greg Nettles is 80 on this day. And he spells his name Graig. That always threw me off. He was like an Indians third baseman, Yankees. He bounced around in the 70s.
It makes sense, though.
Greg. If Craig is going to be spelled that way?
Yeah.
But I've never seen Greg spelled that way.
No, and I've also never seen Craig spelled Creg either.
Right.
So appears to cut one way.
Demi Lovato, 32.
Local.
Born in Albuquerque.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I thought she grew up here.
Might have grew up here. I mean, she got here as fast as she could.
That's right.
Amy Adams is 50. From American Hustle. Catch Me If You Can.
Isn't she married to... Well, never mind. I think I confuse her with the other redheaded chick from Arrival. Or is she in Arrival?
I think she's in Arrival.
I'm
is that the
thinking
same
of
one?
Borat's wife.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
She was in
Isla Fisher?
There you go.
the Hot Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield is 41. From The Social Network and Spider-Man. Actor K. Hugh Kwan is 53. He was Short Round in the second Indiana Jones movie.
Did he win an award recently? Everybody's real fired up about it.
I think he did. But that's all I can say. And for Jake, Fred Durst is 54.
Wow. Kind of having a revival.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're touring. Our good friend Jordan Richardson went to go see them over the weekend with Riff Raff and Corey Feldman.
Wow.
Yeah.
The former Ranger pitcher?
No, that's Scott. That's Scott Feldman. Corey Feldman's live show is as bad as you think it is. Like, it's the worst music I've ever heard in my life.
It'd probably be worth going to then, right?
If I was in town, I would have been there.
Born on this day, now dead, Benjamin Harrison. Who's he, Blake?
President?
He was a president. Good. Good job, little buddy.
Thank you.
And Dimebag, Daryl Abbott from Pantera.
That was actually very sad for me at the time.
Were you stoked on them and stars and all that?
Yeah. That was my metal phase.
Dead on this day, still dead. I'll just give you one. Jerry Lewis.
Speaking of the nursery, right? Or am I confusing?
Did he rob a cradle? I don't recall.
Jerry Lee Lewis?
Jerry Lee Lewis did.
Yeah,
this isn't Jerry Lee
married
Lewis.
his cousin. His
Yeah,
younger
yeah.
cousin.
She was like 13.
Yeah.
No, this is... Which made it okay. If she's 13.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis, the comedian.
You know, he's got a weird spouse situation too, though, because he was married at the age of 18 in 1944, stayed married for 46 years, and then got divorced and remarried for 1 year.
Wow. I wonder if she got all the money.
Yeah, I don't know.
The new wife. How old was the new wife?
It doesn't say right here.
Damn.
But, I mean, he didn't die during the marriage. I mean, he lived for another...
Oh, then he divorced
35 years.
The second one, too?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, you know what? I was wrong. This does suck.
All right. Yeah.
I had the right idea the first time.
And that was Today in History.
Well, we finished our, you want to say Monday show, but it's actually Tuesday.
It's true.
How about that, bros?
Learn about Don Cockcroft.
That's right. You guys probably never even heard of Don Cockcroft before.
And
today.
now you can go out into the world, go to parties.
And now, what is the one fun fact you can tell me about Don Cockcroft? Give me one. See if you remember one thing about him.
Yeah, the first syllable of his last name.
Okay. That's really not what I was looking for. Like something that I taught you today. You're not remembering one thing, are you?
Cock.
The last
Straight on
kicker. How about that? Okay. Now
This is how people consume this. Like they just forget everything we say the second it.
Don't listen.
Well, I usually think if somebody's walking around the house, doing chores, doing whatever, you might driving.
But
these
they were
guys
like
have been
rats
sitting here
with
staring
attention.
at us.
Yeah.
I was getting switched up between the quarterback, what his name was, what the kicker's name was.
Okay.
The coach.
Seriously, that was a little confusing for me too.
Okay, so should we just scrap that whole segment?
No.
Would you like
taking a run at your execution
you
here?
set the names every 5 minutes during this.
Okay, I should do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy the criticism. In fact,
It only makes you stronger.
During our trip to California, I was very upset with myself because I once ate an apple in front of these two. And I had been criticized in the past to not eat apples in front of them because of, I guess...
Well, it's really loud.
Is it really loud? And I just slurping and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really loud. But I also think that our general disposition, as referenced earlier in the show, was let's just not get on Dan's bad side on this
Oh,
trip.
come on. I'm happy.
I know, and I wanted to keep it that way.
And I'm happy about the apples that you told me. Can you feed an apple core to a horse?
I think you can feed anything to a horse.
Okay, because
you threw it in
not
your
knowing,
neighbor's yard.
Yeah, I was walking. I was taking a walk, eating an apple the other day, and I threw my apple core at the horse, and he ate it. And then it looked like he laid down, and he's still laying there. He's been laying there for 3 days. All right, any closing remarks from Will or Weber or?
You guys want some cake?
Shout out John McAfee.
Justin?
Okay. Possibly still alive?
Listening as well.
Okay. Does he mean like a friend or?
Do you have a friend named John McAfee?
Yeah.
Okay.
McAfee Security.
Okay, he's doing a bit.
All right.
It is really weird that I actually interviewed that guy. Like, it doesn't make sense that he was,
rumored dead, but maybe not dead.
Yeah, he was like off the grid.
Well, I think that's a lesson for Blake that sometimes just take the shot and don't say there's no way we can book this person.
Yeah, Blake.
Come on, Blake.
Mm-hmm.
Book John McAfee. Book the Baker head girl.
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory.
All right, well, that kind of petered out.
What do you got, Justin?
On a serious note, how's our boy Monty doing? I haven't heard much about him in a while.
You mean with the cancer?
Yeah.
I haven't actually talked to him in about a week.
Yeah.
We were
we've been gone
out of town, so
yeah.
You could probably just ask him. Just tweet him.
Right.
I think he answers. That's how you want to.
Although that could be a bear trap, if you do ask him and he's not.
Yeah.
That's why you don't want to ask people sometimes.
You would know.
Right, because then they'll tell you that they're not doing well, and that's not what you want to hear, is it?
Yeah.
You want to hear he's doing great and everything's fine.
Right.
So that's why you decided to ask us, to make us uncomfortable about it.
Well, I think that's about it.
All right.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
No puppet.